Jokes and speed in perfect union. Racing hearts and racing cars, they are the brightest stars. Keep it flat out, yeah. Keep it bent, keep it real, oh, oh. You know what to do. Keep it.
In the heart of the Ardennes Forest lies a place where racing becomes legend. Circuit des Spa-Francorchamps. It's one of the world's purest tests of courage and control. A 7-kilometre masterpiece where every corner demands respect and every mistake demands a price. Tonight, Aussie Sim Racing has its GT challenge here for round 5 of the championship. A 90-minute showdown that will push drivers and machines to their limits. From the launch at La Source, patience is key, but it doesn't last long. As they charge downhill into Eau Rouge and rise through Radiant, the track lifts, the stomach drops, and bravery takes a wheel. Then it's the long blast of Camel Straight, where slipstreams and split-second moves decide who dares and who hesitates. Lacombe, Bruxelles, Pouon, flowing, technical and relentless, each turn carving seconds from the clock and courage from the soul. Through Stavelot, Blanchemont, commitment is absolute, and one wrong breath and it's game over. And when the lap closes at the bus stop chicane, the brakes glow, the tyres cry, and victory lies just beyond the final apex. 90 minutes. No breaks, no hiding places. This is Spa-Francorchamps, where heroes rise through the mist and the legends are written on the tarmac. This is round 5 of the Aussie Sim Racing Challenge, and you're watching it live here on Simsational TV. And it's a big good evening to everyone here tonight. Welcome. And this is going to be an absolute barnstormer event here tonight. I'm Zach O'Reilly in the commentary box tonight. Joins me is a man that some would say he proposed at Bathurst using a zip tie instead of a ring. That he refers to deodorant as optional downforce. And that his GPS only knows the way to the racetrack and to the pub. All we know, though, is he's called Dean Hanley. How are you, my friend? And good to be here with you tonight.
Oh, thanks for that wonderful intro, mate. I resemble those remarks. Great to be here. Thanks for having me back in the comm box. This has been a cracking event. I loved last week, so yeah, really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's going to be an absolute ball terror as the practice session has come to an end, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go and have a look about where we are today. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're at Circuit des Francorchamps, and I'll tell you what, it's going to be an belter tonight. 20-minute qualifying session and then a 90-minute race coming our way. It's a long circuit, 6.93 kilometres. It's hot out there, 33 degrees on the track, 19 ambient. No chance of wind or anything like that, though, so you're all ready to rock and roll. It's round 5, and it's an absolute rip snorter of a time to get going here, ladies and gentlemen, because the guys are filing their way out onto the grid and out for some qualifying action. 30 seconds in, couple of championship little negotiations are coming each other's way tonight here, Dean Hanley, because Luke Fallon is nowhere to be seen so far, and his championship rival, Dan Smith, is 100% on board, and he joins right here as we speak on screen right now. This could be interesting for their championship standings.
Oh, this could be rather interesting indeed. Dan could get a free run here, and I mean, have a look at that beautiful car running the old Supra Castrol livery. I mean, all of these cars, the liveries up and down the field are beautiful. But yeah, this could give Dan a free pass for this one, Zach.
Yeah, it could, Dino. It really could. And I hope hope that the criminal, as we like to call him, Luke Fallon, does join the field, and he actually has here. He's on the screen now. There he is. So he's entered the chat. Thank goodness for that. That boy would have been probably just maybe, I don't know, maybe just thinking about where he was going to go for the next round. But he's fine. He's there. And he is ready to rock and roll. I can give you the hot tip. So a big long lap, big opening stanza here for these boys in the grand scheme of things. I'll tell you what, with this track here, Dean, it absolutely favours the brave. We've seen it negotiated in a lot of different cars in terms of racing classes, Formula 1, GT3s, Porsche Carrera Cup, Historics, you name it. And it's only the brave that come through here unscathed.
Oh, this track, I mean, have a look at the corners on this thing. Have a look at the sweeping bends. It's got everything, this track. Surely it will invite action like you wouldn't believe tonight. I can see these guys are just starting to get ready. They're all sort of weaving, getting their tyres nice and warm. I think we'll see some lap times go down early, but probably later in this session, we'll start to see the times really fall, and let's see what cream rises to the top.
Yeah, we'll see exactly what happens there as they all start to get themselves ready and rocking and rolling. There's already a car around there. The Castrol Mustang in the background's just come a proper there. I think that was Ram Jam in the background. So the old wizard is already coming to guts here in this one, but he'll be fine. He's going to get himself right up in there. I can guarantee you that, ladies and gentlemen. Once we show exactly what we've got coming up here tonight, it's only going to be the cream that rises to the top. Good evening to our viewers out there in YouTube land. We've got Red Form Racing in the chat. Colin Black's in there as well. Great to have you all with us. We're excited about this one tonight, and why wouldn't you be? It's a 90-minuter. It's an enduro, ladies and gentlemen, for this season, and already this man is on the charge, Luke Fallon, as he starts to negate his first qualifying lap. Won't be too happy about getting impeded there, Dino, but his fellow championship rival, this is P1 in the championship, Fallon is 2 in Agent Smith right on our screen here. He is 100% going to go for it. Just warming up those tyres whichever way he can. 2 laps, in fact, is his warm-up session here. He's just giving it a little bit of a tug left and right just to find out where that car's balance lies in terms of limited grip and sort of, you know, thinking about what he can do and where he can push is Dan Smith. So look out for them. But a strong grid tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We've got, what do we got? I think we've got over 30 cars on the grid. Once again, where else do you want to be? You want to be here on SimSocial TV. You want to be in the fight at Aussie Sim Racing as well. Go and check them out and get yourselves in there too, because this is a feisty competition here tonight. And this man here on the screen, Kyle Douglas, we can't see what they're looking at because they haven't set a time yet, Dino, but this man here, I have a feeling, is someone that I know. And he races around. He's caught me eye in the Aston Martin. We'll see how he goes further through. Another good-looking livery there too. Speaking of liveries, while they're all getting ready and settled in, we've got Nick Green here on your screen. That is an absolute rip snorter of a livery there too. Looking that fast in that McLaren. Then we've got Flynn Suter there in the chrome blue Mustang. One of the more flamboyant ones out there as well. Keep your eyes and ears peeled for that thing, because that thing sounds absolutely amazing. And we'll see what they're doing. But the first time on the screen is a 218 by the old budgie smuggler Michael Budge. He's come through. The old erections come in and gone into 3rd place. But the championship antagonist, the criminal, has absolutely given everyone a bath so early in this session here. 2:16.301 is the time to beat. And that is 2.5 seconds, even better than anyone else as the rest start to fall through. The price is wrong has come in. 1.1 seconds, 2:17.404, Dino, as they all start to file through now. This is going to be interesting.
Mate, geez, Fallon didn't leave anything on the table then. He sort of come out firing straight away. Usual suspects are getting up there. We got Price. Then I see Lewis in 3rd there. I mean, these guys are really going to throw it out, but the times now are starting to roll in. And I mean, this is only lap 2, lap 3 of qualifying. There's a lot more to come here.
Oh, yeah, we're 2 minutes 16 odd second laps, and that will fall too, ladies and gentlemen. With the 20-minute session, you work it out, you've only really got 7 or 8 flyers before the time's run out, and that's if you don't go back to the pits. How long will these tyres last tonight? That is the biggest question. Fallon and Ferber now are getting closer to each other. Ferber's just come in with a 7/10 of a gap between himself, so a 2:17.5 for him. But Kingy's just entered the chat. Look at this man. He's just put it into P2, 4/10 off the criminal in front of him, and that man there is just trying to wear the crown pretty high here tonight, and another good-looking car. But how long will these tyres last is what I was getting back to. There's no mandatory pit here tonight. There's no fuel stops. There's no nothing in terms of what you want to do. If you can get to the end, might as well go for it. But Spark, no, Dino Hanley is just an absolute monster on the tyres. How fast are those sweeping turns?
Oh, mate, it would be absolute murder on the tyres, but it looks like the Mercs are holding up all right to him. I mean, look at this Mustang. That's a beautiful looking Mustang of Hamilton's there. I don't know what he's got to put down. He's sort of gone a bit wide there. No, he's pulled out of it. But, I mean, these guys are really going to put down times. But the car, oh, Smith straight to the top.
Look at
straight
that.
to the top.
Absolutely. Just only by nearly 2/10 there. So not a lot of gap there between himself and Smooth Criminal in Fallon. So this could be interesting here. The agent has just pulled the Matrix card and said, yep, come at me. And I'm going for it here, Neo, because at this point in time, he has got the chockies. Green's come into the chat as well. So these times are filing in here, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see this sort of action just filing in right now. And the rest of the grid are getting themselves in. Fowler's in there. The Beerman's in 15th place. Eccleston's 15th as well, because in comes the erection in Rogers. He's gone to top 10 there as well. And Price has filed his way into the chat again. Crikey's, this man's on fire. He just came out of nowhere last round, Dino. Remember this. This guy was in an absolute barnstormer of a battle for P2. And he is just showing these boys how it's done here. Still so early in the qualifying session. But boy, oh boy, is he getting close to Agent Smith there.
Oh, he's getting close, mate. I mean, these guys are all going to push. I don't think anyone wants to leave anything on the table here. Look at how many cars are out on the track, and everyone's still finding space. I think that's the big issue here. Like, there's a few guys getting close. You really can't put a lap down when you got a car in front of you. So we've still got Smith at the top, Fallon second, and Price, who we're watching now. He seems to be doing a good job here. This could be on.
This could be on here. He's on. He's pricing it around at the moment. He's just thinking about it. Kingy's also gone bang to the top. In fact, that is an absolute barnstormer of a time there. Holy mackerel indeed. Eat your heart out, says Kingy. I'm just going to send it hard and fast here in this Mercedes-Benz. Beautiful looking car as well. But boy, oh boy, has he got himself in a rhythm here early on in this qualifying session. 2:15.891 is now the time to beat. And these guys now have got to come back to the drawing board in Smith, Fallon and Price, because that is a very, very close gap indeed between the top three. It's only 0.4 of a second over 7 kilometres of racetrack. That is not something to shy about there, and he is just pulling out now because he knows if he goes again, he's going to have a really, really hot set of tyres here under him. But he's at the top. Kingy on the prowl here. Duffy and the Beer Man just went from 15th to 5th. After that expertise as well in qualifying. Here, the Blendline TV as well. This man needs to get in contact with myself and Dean Hanley and Chris Munro as well, because we would love to be part of them too at some stage. But the Beer Man's up there. Greg Cook has just jumped himself into 8th place. A really, really good time in the Porsche, but he's been pushed out of 8th. He's gone back to 9th because the old budgie smuggler in Michael has come back through. He's put the togs on. Gone out to Bondi Beach, just had a bit of a swim and come out, and there's about 58 females around him. That is a sexy time there from the budgie smuggler himself in Michael. Goodness gracious me, it's all happening here. Smith has jumped a lot of them again, and Fallon too as we speak. Smith at the top, Fallon only a bee's whisker away there in 2nd place. King is going to have to go back to the drawing board again and go for it. Price has come through and he's edging closer as well. But geez Louise, in the fair dinkum department, it is tight between P1 and 2, Dino, and it's tight between P2 and 3 and 4 now. Goodness gracious me, look at the split there from Bernie Eccleston and Jared. He's just come through at an absolute rate of knots and gone bang.
Oh, this isn't over yet, mate. These guys are throwing down times like no one's business. Bernie just come out of nowhere, but he's back in. He's heading out again. He's going to have another crack here. Smith has set a very, very quick time. But, I mean, look at it. Those top 5, there's not a lot in that.
No, there's not. There's absolutely nothing in it. Nothing in it at all. And I don't know how these guys are going about this, but I'll give you the hot tip here, Dino. They're not shy. They're absolutely not shy whatsoever. They know what to do, and they're going for it, hammer and tong. You can see the gaps there between the two of them. It's just incredible to see what they are doing. I just can't believe it. In fact, I absolutely cannot believe it. That just split over the whole grid, and then next to them is a split between each other. That is how you go racing, ladies and gentlemen, in qualifying for sure. You might think it's just qualifying, but this is all for the big 90-minute. You want to get a commanding lead here at the start of Spa-Francorchamps because you don't want to be caught up in all the tomfoolery in the mid-pack, else you will be under all sorts of pressure. Speaking of pressure, the old beer can himself in Bradley Cans has come through again, showing his colours. 7th place for him here in the lonely Lamborghini. up the top. Absolutely loving this car. It's fantastic to watch.
Oh, mate, that's a beautiful looking car. I hope he doesn't. Oh, no, he's pulled out of that. He's just hit the curb there and just pulled out of it. I mean, let's have a look here. Here's Hamilton. He was right up there before. We got Rogers coming on strong here. I mean, guys, I think we just need a bit of a gap there so you don't get impeded. That could be a real problem here. I mean, the toe's nice. Always nice to get a bit of a draft, but I mean, you still don't want to be impeded. I think that's what'll happen in a few corners now.
Yeah, it will be. It'll be a little bit hairy now. You can get the suck off each other here too, is what they're trying to do. DRS trained himself. Look at this, racing and qualifying. Don't see that too often. But now he's nudged the back of him too. Oh my goodness gracious me, in the fair dinkum department. And he's looped himself around. Oh, not what you want to do there. And this is the biggest bit of a... oh, geez, I don't even know what to say there. That is one of the owners here of Aussie Sim Racing just punting his fellow racer around there and just continuing on with the lap like it's no one's business. But Dan Smith has just gone wacko again. So he has even increased his lead there. Payrack's come through. The old Moneybags has come into P3, so he's just split the gap between them. Now these guys are filing out. This is incredible stuff. Look at the gaps between 4th, 5th, 6th. There, it's under a 10th between those three cars there. That is going to be so close. The Beer Man's got some work to do. He was as high as 5th before. He's been dropped back down to 9th. He's only got 7/100ths of a second to make himself up in front of Cairns there, and Cairns has got only a 28/100ths of a second gap between himself and the old Tim Weston.
I mean, the margins here, it's sort of one goes faster, then someone else is coming out and going faster again. Smith's got it at the moment with 3/10, but I mean, who knows? Someone else will come out and go closer again, I'm sure of it. But at the moment, where are we at the moment? We're with Weston at the moment. That's a beautiful looking car too. Geez, these things look amazing going around the track. But he seems to be on one at the moment. Can he improve? Can he get up there? Is there a top 5 on the cards for Weston?
There could be, but I'll tell you what, there was a purple microsector for that man and in the first out of 4, but he's binned it. Osama bin Rustled himself out of another lap there. This could be interesting, in fact, or hopefully, for goodness gracious me and our sake, that these guys know what they're doing, because at this stage, it's a whole pressure point here because Dan Smith's out in front. Luke Fallon, the criminals, just put it into the pit, so he's going to warm up for one more lap here with 13 minutes and 40 to go. He's only got 2 flyers left, but geez, King is on fire here. 3rd place at the moment for him. Only, what is he? He's 7/10 off the lead there, but he's got to find nearly half a second to even jump Luke Fallon. The Budgie Smuggler's back into it in Michael, so he's jumped himself up a couple of positions into 7th. He's loving life here at the moment. Weston, Cairns and Beerman have just come into it. Weston's just split the old Budgie Smuggler and gone bang into P7. He's had enough. He's going to send it into the pits there too. So we've got to see what this man can do. Eccleston, he was right up there at the start. He's only got to find 1/10 of a second here to gap the Payrack in front of him in Moneybags, who's just sitting in the pits there pondering life. But at this stage of this lap here at the moment, Eccleston's just on an opener, so he's got to fly around now, get his lap done, and then come back and make sure that it is all warmed up and ready to rock and roll in that Mustang, Dino.
He's just getting ready to fire it up here. I think the next one will be a cracker. I see a few of them are in the pits and they're coming out now. There's still guys who are going to come out. They'll put down the last firing lap. But here's Eccleston. Let's see what Bernie can do here. I think he'll throw down the lap now. And this is what he's warmed up for. He's got a couple of guys in front, but they're teammates. So hopefully there's a bit of chat in the radio going, hey, mate, I'm on one. Let me through. But Eccleston he's got nice lines. He's pushing this thing hard. I mean, I don't think there's anything else this car can do at the moment in the hands of him. I certainly wouldn't like to be sitting in the passenger seat.
No, I wouldn't either. I'll tell you what, he's just absolutely flying at this stage. Cracking little exchange here from himself. We're right on board and see how he goes about it at this stage. This is cracking stuff. He's flown through Eau Rouge and Radion. He's on the Kemmel straight now, and he's approaching into Lecombe. So breaks it in hard there. Gets the car into second gear. Fires it out the other side. This is now Malmedy, and he's come out the other side of this one looking pretty spicy indeed. Right on the limit there is Jared Eccleston. We'll see how he navigates here. Bruxelles, he's just flying into the hairpin. It's a right-hand sweeper, and he is getting himself around. Now he's got Speaker's Corner to make sure he gets this one done. They call it No Name, but it's called Speaker's Corner now in the full sim racing land. That's what we call it. Double Gorsh is coming up as well. This is a hard little tussle to make himself in. Fires it in 4th gear. Downshifts from 5th. Gets that nose in perfectly. Apex is out the other side. Happy days for the big man. He is absolutely on fire here tonight. Look at this stuff. Now we've got Le Fanet coming in as well. Left, right-hand chicane, and then it's a left sweeper, which is deceivingly tight on exit. Gets himself out the other side. Pulls it onto the ripple strip there. Then he's got Campus to navigate here. Just a tight little third gearer. Push it out as wide as you can. Not too far onto the bunda there as well. Then we've got Stavelot to come out onto the Corbe Fall for air straight in the background there. This is a long run now. They all come flying through here. If you remember back in 2001, massive incident right there. Two Formula 1 cars came together. Marc Genet came out worst off, plowed into that tower barrier there at 270k an hour. Walked away from it unbelievably. But this is incredible stuff. Now we're getting it all through because that's Blanchemont done. Now it's the final bus stop chicane. A little bit wide there from Jared. He's just going to be a bit of a better lap here. He said a purple microsector. Hasn't aced the exit there. Will he jump up any positions? No, he won't. He just does not set. He sets a 2:15.922. Still in 5th place. But that man is on a charge here. 17 minutes left in qualifying here, Dino. And I'm telling you now, it's firing up because Smith and Fallon are in the pits. They've had enough. King is still filing himself around here at the moment. He's about to cross the start finish line. Has he improved? No, he hasn't. There's a bin in the background there. Oh, that is Duffman. He got caught up there in all of that nonsense. What happened to him? We're going to have to see if we can get a replay of that. There was some contact there in the background. Boy, oh boy, in the fair dinkum department, he won't be happy about that with the beer man. Can he get himself back onto the racetrack and get himself going? Yes, he can. But geez, that was a pile up in qualifying. Not often we see that, Dino.
No, that's definitely not what you want to see. You've got guys trying to file onto the main straight there across the start finish, and they're just starting to warm up for a lap, and then you're coming into the last corner just before the start, and bang, you turned around. That's unfortunate. These guys, I'm sure, were firing up for a big lap. They're just sort of getting ready. Kingy's still out there going for it. I wonder if he's got anything for him. He really had that Merc all tuned up there. I thought he was going to put out a good time.
Oh, I thought he was too, but it's okay. Eccleston's put it in the pit, so he's done. Everyone in the top 5 has done apart from Kingy, so he's on. What is the Price is Wrong doing? He's coming out of the pits now. He'll just make it around there, in fact, Dino, I reckon, here, just to get himself out. To make one last dive here in qualifying. Tim Weston is also doing the same thing here. He's rounding the back half of the circuit into the chicane. He will brake right about now. Slams that brake on the Ferrari, gets it sorted, pulls it up. Happy days. Thank you very much. He says he's going to go for one more lap here. 18 minutes and 45 seconds gone out of the 20 that they can do here in qualifying. Oh, there's some debris in the background there. I don't know what happened there. Goodness gracious me. That looked pretty nefarious. Didn't see a crash there. Don't see what happened, but the big whoever that was is gone there. Furby's gone up to 11th place, so he's just on the brink of the top 10. Can he get one more lap out in this man? No, he won't. He's pulled it over. He's the Furby man. The beer man is going for one more time here, Daft Punk style. Let's see what he is doing. And Garth Duffy has just set 2 yellows in the first 2. He's got a green in the 3rd sector on the bottom right-hand side of your screen there. That's the 4th sector is coming up here. Can he get something done here with 25 seconds left to go in this qualifying session? Blendline TV Mustang flying its way down the back straight into the chicane. He comes right about now. Turns it in to the left. Gets it in. Now he's got a right-hand flick just up over that inside curb. Uses all the exit curb he possibly can. Come out the other side of it. Is this going to be a better time here for the beer man as he comes across the line? It is, but it's not enough. 2:17.08 for him. He will just have time to get around. The top 5 are all in the pits, Dino. And that means, I reckon, they've all just put up the white flag. Tim Weston, however, is just on the brink of his own personal bests here. This could be interesting. We'll see what this man does in the Ferrari flying around here at this stage. Oh, geez, you just nearly ate your heart out with all of this action going on. Can he get another position or 2 up? He's only got 0.04 of a second splitting himself and Price.
Oh, mate, he's got nothing to lose. There's nothing to lose here, so push for it. I would be. He's already got himself in the 7th, like comfortable 7th position. Oh, he's just gone a bit wide there, but I don't know if that would have slowed him down too much. He's still got a good one. Oh, that would have slowed him down.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's all over for the big man. That's a checkered flag wave there. Bradley Cairns is going around. He's got green 3rd sector there, so 2 little ones down. He's just on the brink, ladies and gentlemen, of his own personal best here on the timing tower. He's right on the edge of it. Everyone else is just a little bit far away, so I think you can guarantee the top 10 is all done nearly here, unless Duffy has something to say about that too. But Bradley Cairns in the lonely Lamborghini flying around here for his final stop at qualifying, slams the brakes on now into the braking zone. He goes into the chicane, navigates this one beautifully here. He's green in the second sector, the second last sector. Is it going to be a green one for the third? He's got to beat his own personal best time, which is a 2:16.6 as he crosses the line. 2:16.4 and does. Beautiful stuff there from the old beer can. Thank you very much. He says promotes himself up 2 positions right at the death. What can the Duff man say about that too? He's looking at a little bit of a better time here. He's had a good start to the lap. The middle sectors are a little bit hairy here. But can the last sector be anything? Can he jump Budge and Cairns in front of him? He's got 3/10 to make up to get himself into P9 at least here. He's getting a good old suck here off the Aston Martin in front of him. Will he let him go? No, he won't, because he's also on a lap. Hamilton's just gone up into 8th place as well. Just beautiful stuff there from JJ is in the end of it. But can the beer man get something onto the board there? His best lap is a 2:16.7, and no, yes he does in fact. 2:15.8. Wowee, 2:16.7 to a 2:15.8 at the death. The beer man, holy mackerel indeed. What a fantastic qualifying session there, Dino. That had everything.
Mate, that had everything, all right. How's the Duff man? I mean, that's precious stuff right at the end of quali, and to go bam into 5th. That's an impressive drive, that one, but it's a good-looking field there. There's still not a lot of time separating the top 10. This is, yeah, it's going to be a tight race, mate.
It is going to be a tight race. We've got 90 minutes coming our way, ladies and gentlemen. Once the results come up, I'm having to exit the goddamn server and come back. So we'll take a quick break there because the iRacing has just windowed itself somehow. And that's why it's chopped it off at the bottom of your screen there. So we'll come back to that. But when the results want to show up, we'll see if they do in the end. Waiting for that yellow box to come up on my timing board here to signify the end of qualifying. But that was a hairy one there at least. Dan Smith took it. Well, really, he took it only by 0.2 of a second. Not even, it was 0.02 of a second over Luke Fallon. That was beautiful stuff there from the rest of them. We'll bring that timing board up there. You can see it. 0.3 of a second, in fact, it was from him. So a lovely little position. That is how qualifying looks like. Dan Smith takes it over Luke Fallon. Kingy in 3rd place. Payrack, the old moneybags, in 4th. And they're ready to go. It's just having little funny buggers here. Eccleston and Duffman share the row there with each other. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys go for their race coming their way. Price in 7th place, 8th Western, 9th Hamilton, and the top 10 is done by Bradley Cairns. Budgie Smuggler, Furby, the chef, the old golf putting green himself in Nick, Flynn, Suter, Lachlan Bell, Brent Smith, and Goyetto come through in the top 18. Let's get to the rest of them here as we can file through. That would be great. Hello. What is this thing doing? Need to go to the next one there, please. There we go. We've got Dan Justice in 19th place, respectively, himself. And then we'll go to that as well. Keep these boys coming through. The rest of the grid. Finally, Rogers, White, Mifsud, DeBetter, Kyle Douglas, Brock Clark, Rogers, Burke, Ramjam, and Potter. With Fowler and Hutchins rounding out the back end of the grid, all a fair way off there, Dino. But these boys are ready and rocking and rolling here for a race start. We're going to have to go to them and see where they are. It's a little bit of a roller here. I'm not going to get time to bloody do that reset that we need, but they're starting from back here, so it's a rolling start, ladies and gentlemen. 90 minutes of racing coming your way very shortly, but get your predictions in the chat nonetheless. Who's going to take this one by a country mile here at the moment? Is it going to be Luke Fallon or is it going to be Dan Smith? We'll find out very, very shortly. Dano, who have you got your money on?
Mate, it's Smith and Fallon. Real great performances tonight. I think I'd have to put my money on Smith, but I'd like to also put a cheeky one on Eccleston to come through.
Eccleston's coming from 6th place on the grid. Yep. So he's got a little bit of something to think about as a safety car rounds their way. They all start to weave and get those tyres warmed up as much as they can. And they're just starting to think about how they go about things in the fair dinkum department. should be interesting because with this sort of action coming our way for the 90-minute, anything can happen. Eccleston could come from 7th place and get himself back into it. We could have Kingy just come through and take it. Fallon and Smith might come through and absolutely just take each other out. Who knows? But that is what we want to see, ladies and gentlemen. We want to see action. We want to see everything else happening, and it's beautiful stuff here as they start to warm up for this one. Get prepared. 90 minutes of racing action here at Spa-Francorchamps on a Tuesday night. Where else do you want to be? You want to be out Aussie Sim racing around the circuit, and you want to be here at SimStation TV with myself and Dean Hanley calling all the action for tonight. Pleasure to have you with us. Coming up to the chicane here, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be exciting.
Mate, I do love an endurance format. It suits me. And, I mean, anything can happen in endurance format. You've just got to stay in it. Just stay there and stay in it.
Yeah, you do. You absolutely do. And that's what we want to see here. But they're all starting to file their way around here. Stan Smith via Luke Fallon on the front row here for a good old battle. So we're going to have to see how these boyos go about it in the grand scheme of things. The green flag is going to be waved very, very shortly as they file their way in. And we're off and racing here, ladies and gentlemen. There goes Dan Smith. He's got the jump. Beautiful stuff there off Luke Fallon. So they've taken it into the nefarious turn 1 here. Dan Smith's just gone. He's actually locked the brakes up there. And Luke Fallon's going to have a good dive at him. And he's got the lead here already. So a switch for position for already here at the turn 1 here. Smith had an absolute mare. And we are green, green, green racing, ladies and gentlemen. As it says, goodness gracious me, in the fair dinkum department, Fallon and Smith trading places there. King is coming up at a rate of knots too. So we've got to look at this man. Oh, there is a big, big Luke Fallon off there. He is right off Alpha Eau Rouge. That was disaster for the big fella. He just came out of nowhere and absolutely punted himself. There's more carnage in the background there too. It's all happening here fairly on in the first lap, first 3 or 4 or 5 corners there. In fact, geez, they're all going for it. That was disaster there for our championship compatriot in Luke Fallon. Got all crossed up, I would say. They will find a replay of that one if it possibly comes up. Goodness gracious me, all the stuff happened there, but it is still this man leading the race. We've got a little bit of a battle pack coming up here because we've got these guys battling it out. That's JJ Hamilton on your screen. He's going through it there too. We saw Hutchins crash and we saw Potter as well. Brock Clark had a bit of a bundle and well, geez, he had to bingle himself, if I can say a Lara bingle. But these guys are all going for it at the back here. This is a cracking little stanza here. This is 13th place. Furby's lost a spot there. Biggest mover and shaker so far has been the chef, but Luke Fallon lost out massively there. And I'll tell you what, that is a huge gap there. But Kingy is all over the arse end here, Dino, of the big fella. Dan Smith in front of him. This is good old battle here.
Mate, Kingy's got that Merc fired up. He seemed to have it in qualifying too. It just looked hooked up nicely. Smith's trying to get away from him, but he just can't at the moment. Kingy's right on him. I mean, these guys are battling hard here. Kingy's right there. He's going to get a bit of a toe here. If he can make it in the corner, he's gone up the inside. He's gone up the inside. Is he going to make the move stick? He's got that inside line, but we're coming back to a kink in the road here. Here it is. Oh, like these guys. Smith on the outside. Is he going to hold Kingy off here? Zach, I'm lost for words, mate, and it's early on. This is not good.
This is good stuff. Kingy's gone for it. Thank you very much. He says, I'll take the lead off you, Dano. And he's gone. He's going to absolutely jet off up the road if he possibly can. Smith is just losing a position here, just like he's been absolutely just sold a dummy. And it's been Smith, Kingy here at the front versus Smith going for it again. In comes Payrack in the background in the VB livered Aston Martin. Beautiful driving here from all these guys. They're absolutely singing it. Look at Dan Smith just weaving. He's taking the absolute piss. I think there's something nefarious going on here. No, it doesn't look like it. Or are they all slowing down? No, they're still racing. Bloody hell, Dan Smith's just got time to react and go for it. But the beer man here is on song. He has got a good old suck train coming his way here. In front of himself is Payrack in the VB livery. Is he close enough? No, he's not. He's just thinking about it, thinking about what he can do and set him up there. Little bit of an opening stanza here between the top 4. He's starting to heat up here, Dino. This is cracking stuff. I'm loving life.
Oh, mate, this is brilliant. These guys are nice and close. We're starting to see a little battle develop for first and second, and then third and fourth. There's a tiny gap back there to third, but I mean, these guys are still pushing. Like, Smith has not let go of Kingy. Kingy made a beautiful overtaking move. Oh, hang on, there's been a mistake there. He's right on him. He is now right. Smith is right on Kingy. These guys are right there. He's just dropped it into the dirt there. That'll slow him down a little bit. As they come into this left-hander, they're tight. Smith sort of... Oh! Hang on.
There goes Kingy. He's lost 4 positions. He's off in the gravel, in fact, ladies and gentlemen. That is huge implications for Kingy. He had it all to win, and he just binned it himself coming through Poo-on. Oh, my goodness gracious me. That's exactly what he'll be thinking. He'll be thinking, oh, Poo, I've just stuffed up a lead there and gone for the chock. He's absolutely lost it. Inherited the lead back to this man, and now Payrack, the money bags, and the beer man are coming through. At a rate of knots here, they're trying to get themselves involved in this one. I still can't find that Luke Fallon incident at the start there, ladies and gentlemen. Forgive me, the bold timing tower has not registered it to come up. It's just registered everyone else's crashes, but it hasn't registered Luke Fallon's. What happened to him? We'll have to only find out at the end of this one, but he's dead set far, far down the field. 15th place now off P1, but look at Payrack. There's a closing speed here on him. He's just insane. I don't think Dan Smith's got his car set up right here. He's just struggling big time. This man in front of that Castrol Mustang usually leads a race and just takes it by a country mile there, but Payrack and the beer man are just hounding each other. They're getting real close to each other, in fact, and it's great to see. I'm loving this little battle pack here at the front. There is the man leading the race. Payrack just in behind him as well. The beer man's got a good old run too, coming down the hill through Eau Rouge. We'll see some action coming their way as well. It looks like Suda in the background here in Flynn. He's having a good old little battle himself. Look at this man. He's coming on the back end here of Cairns. The Cairns is on the back, sorry, of coming through. But Suda, he's right there on the chef. The afterburners are getting put on here. Watch that timing tower, because we've got to go to this man. Eccleston is right up the clacker now. He's going forward here on the inside of The Price is Right. And I'll tell you what, the game show versus the old porn star has gone in. Thank you very much. He says the billionaire's wife has come out the other side and just shown the check, waved the old money bags in front of him. And there's a big disaster. That's Payrack. He's been punted off, ladies and gentlemen. Spun himself around. Whatever's happened, but he's found himself facing 90 degrees to the inside of the circuit. Somehow didn't hit a wall and just came out the other side. He's lost about 4 or 5 positions there. Into 8th place, he comes out and sorts himself in, but that's promoted Eccleston up into 3rd. He's just been gifted positions. He's been gifted one by Fallon. He's been gifted one there by Payrack, and now he's up into 3rd place and hounding the back of the beer man.
Oh, these guys are into it. I mean, it's an endurance, guys, but everyone seems to be racing hammer and tongs at the moment. Everyone's sort of looking at Smith, probably looking at the gap he's got there and going, nope, we need to close that down. But Eccleston is really closing up on Duffy here. As these guys settle in, starting to see cars behave a bit differently. Guys are getting a bit more comfortable with them. So Eccleston's still got a bit, oh, he's got a bit of a gap there. I don't know what's going on here. Price has gone round him. He must have had a little moment there. I didn't see it, Zach. Did you see a moment in the background?
I didn't see a moment in the background there, Dino, but I'll tell you what I saw was an unforced error there from Eccleston, because he 100% just went himself a little bit wide there and lost it. So we'll see what happened to him later on if we possibly can. But that was a beautiful little opportunistic pass. Fallon's just flying up the field now. Oh, geez, that was close there to the rear end of that McLaren there of Price from Eccleston's Mustang. Geez Louise, he got close in the old bus stop there. On board with him now. He's filing himself to the right-hand side of the circuit. The Price is Right, because Eccleston's on the left. And on board here, we can see how they come into P1, into turn 1. They're coming them around the outside. Here's Jared Eccleston. He's finding his way through, but he's got a good old tussle. This is fantastic stuff. He's got Hamilton behind him as well. So the 2 Mustang teammates are line astern here, hounding the back end. Price is wrong at the moment. It looks like it could be a situation where he's going to lose a position, but Eccleston is flying here at the moment. He's got it all to race and win for, but he's made a mare of it on the exit of Eau Rouge. Now they're flying down the front straightaway here. Now he's too far away from a suck. Is Hamilton going to have a good old tussle at the back end of this one? We'll see where he is. He's just single filing his way through. He'll try to break a bit early there as he does. Eccleston just not aware of any danger behind him. He can just see the opportunity in front of him of Price and just thinks about it here. This is absolutely barnstorming racing here. 7 minutes into a 90-minute race. It's like a racing for sheep stations here at the end of it. Look at these guys go.
These guys are right into it, and it's on early. The teammates there was beautiful. Hamilton pulled out of it nice and early, let Eccleston go, so he's going to let him have a go at Price. There might be a change here if the guys are talking. If Hamilton's got the pace, he might be let through, but Weston is closing up on all of this now. He's sort of being pulled into this battle, but yeah, no, this is all going on. I don't know if Eccleston's got the pace at the moment to catch Price. Price seems to be putting the power down. He's not looking in the mirror. He's just looking out the front windscreen and going for it, which is what you what you're supposed to do. Don't look in your rearview mirror, but Hamilton would want to start looking in his soon because Weston, he is on a charge.
He's on a charge. He's the old compass himself. He's going hard, hammer and tong here. 4/10 away now, just single filing away in the Ferrari in the background of the two Mustangs there. As you can see, in file through. Actually, Weston's just gone off the circuit there. Oh, Timmy boy, what are you doing, mate? You're just going to give a position away to Payrack. Old Moneybags has come through and said thank you, cashed his check, gone, sipped a few VBs while he's making his way down the back straight as well. And Weston's just lost the position. He was up 2 from where he started. Now he's up 1. He's just lost 1. And unfortunately for him, it's a little bit of an unforced error in the grand scheme of things, and just came out the other end a little bit nefariously, but managed to get his way back onto the track. Still inside the top 10. 7th place for him. It's all cracking off in the background here, Dino. Look at these guys. Look at the chef, in fact. Oh, the chef has gone into the pits early. Very, very early here for this man. Has he undercooked it somehow? I'm not too sure. There's no damage I can see on that car, but and he didn't get a penalty. I saw Luke Fallon definitely got a penalty for what he did at the start. In fact, he jumped it. So I think this could be a drive-through here for the chef, unless he's going to the second half of the pit lane, which he will. And it's an absolute eternity down here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, geez, it's like trundling down a mall. No, he's just gone and single-filed his way back through. He'll get into it and go for it. So is Cairns as well as in the pit lane, interestingly too. So a couple of people pitting early here in this race. Cairns has had a mare somewhere in the background. We'll see. In fact, he crashed. Let's have a look at this one, ladies and gentlemen. Back to the replay of old Bradley Cairns. This is what happened to him. He was coming down into the chicane, and in fact, he's had a crash earlier. He's had a crash way earlier. Look at that. The rear end is gone. There is nothing left on that thing, Dino. That is incredible stuff.
Mate, I think there was a lot of action off the start. When we were there, I could see cars in the background, probably around 19th, 20th place, and there was cars spinning around everywhere. There was been a lot of action up and down this field. I think there's a few damaged cars out there at the moment.
There is. This is the chef. He crashed as well too. Come up on the replay file. He just got. I think he nearly looped it himself. No, he didn't. Why does it say that he crashed? Well, he didn't crash. He came into the pits. Good on you. Good on you, Sonia. But let's get back to the racing action here, because I'll tell you what, this man is on the flyer at the moment. Is Mr. Moneybags. He's got a little bit of a gap there between himself and Eccleston, who's trying to prowl his way onto the back of Price here in for P4 and 3, ladies and gentlemen. The final step on the podium early on in this race is Hot Property, and you can see him now just starting to close down a little bit there. That gap is forever decreasing on the timing tower between Eccleston and Price. It was 4.5 tenths. Now it's 3.5 tenths as they come into the braking zone, into the final chicane here. This is interesting to see what Eccleston's doing. That is 100% unbelievable. I want Dino's love child, says Gray Ward with the $20 super chat. Who is Dino's love child? Can you see him on the screen there, Dino? No, I cannot, but I really appreciate that, Gray. I kind of figured that was the case, mate. What in the hell is he talking about? I got absolutely no idea from the Grey War. But doesn't matter. I'll tell you what's happened, though. This man has got in front of Dan Smith. And Dan Smith was leading this race by a fair old margin, and somehow has come a proper in the background. He's got overtaken there for that one. Let's see if we can get a replay of that, of how it happened. And it was just an error there from Dan Smith, so he ran wide into the right-hand sweeping hairpin. And I'll tell you what, the beer man just came sweeping from a mile away. Said, thank you, I'll take that one off you, Dano, and I'll inherit the race lead. Now it's a changed position here. Beautiful stuff. This is fantastic. I'm loving this. This is just all on like Donkey Kong here, Dino. Far out. Oh, mate, this is great racing. The guys are pushing hard. You can see them dropping the rear wheels just into the gravel there, just over the ripple strip. So, I mean, they're pushing as hard as they can. Smith will push... he'll push super hard right now to try to get that position back. He'll be kicking himself for that little mistake. But Duffy seems to... I mean, he seems to have it in control here. As long as he looks forward and just keeps driving and pushing on, he'll be right. See if he can trick Smith into making a mistake by overdriving the car. Well, the only place you don't want to overdrive something, Dino, is at the golf driving range, because you'll get kicked out if you keep slapping them over the 250 metre board. And at the moment here, Garth Duffy is definitely doing that. He is out driving the championship leader here in Dan Smith. He's crossing in at the moment, but it's two Mustangs here, which have shown to be one of the stronger cars here in the whole season. In fact, it's been Mustang versus Mercedes for P1 and 2 in the championship. But overall, that Mustang is a popular car. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inside the top 20 in the Mustang representative department. So Ford's having a field day. The share prices are going up at the moment. Boy, oh boy, in a fair dinkum department. But Smith is on the charge backwards here. You can see him just ever closing in on the beer man in front. Eccleston has just got past. The price is wrong there, and that is 100% a beautiful move under brakes here into the chicane. That was a cracking little battle there. It was just starting to heat up, and we'll find out exactly how they went for it here. This is the replay of Eccleston getting past him, just slides underneath, out brakes. The price is right and says, thank you, I'll take P3 off you. No argument there from Price. He just thought, nah, you go on with it, Jared. You're filing and flying here at the moment. Just single file stuff. I'll settle for 4th place. But back to the racing here, ladies and gentlemen. This man is in 4th, flying at this stage. Had a cracker over a battle there in the last round. And geez Louise, at Daytona, that was a belter for P2 and 3, but he's lost a position here now to Eccleston in 4th place. Mind you, Eccleston wasn't part of that equation because he got punted off a couple of times. He had a mare both races. He was fighting back tooth and nail, was Jared Eccleston, and he's just come through with the chockies here already here at Spa. 14 minutes and 22 seconds into a 90-minute event, and that was a little bit wide there from Dan Smith. There was smoke signals, dust signals, in fact, onto the track there, so he's pushing hard, and you can see at the moment just over driving, as we said there, Dino, that it's not working for him at the moment. He'll be a bit angry at himself. It was 0.5 of a second, now it's 7.
Mate, that's exactly what I saw before. I thought if you're just over driving it, Smith, I noticed, just kept dropping the wheel off just into the gravel. It's like he's pushing too hard. You need to relax at this point in time, settle into a rhythm, and just pick up wherever you can on whatever corner you can. But the important thing is just to get in your own rhythm. It's a long race. There's a long way to go here. So if you can just, oh, there we go. See, Duffy's just dropped one in the gravel too. So it sort of just slows you down just that little bit, and things like that will incentivize Smith. He'll have a look at that and go, oh, he's just pushing hard too. So hopefully he can start to catch up here.
Yeah, hopefully. It is very, very wise comments from the Supercoach there in Dean Hanley. Just overdriving is not the way to go. And you can see there Smith had a mare out to the final portion of this race. In fact, Dan Smith is coming back at him at a rate of knots. Could this be a move under braking into the chicane? No, he's too far away. But it's now pressure point here for the beer man. He's got to sink a couple of more cans to relax those nerves. The old liquid confidence could come into play here for Duffy. He's up 4 places from where he started, ladies and gentlemen. Cracking stuff here from him. He's been opportunistic and stayed out of all the carnage, but I'll tell you what, he's got a mammoth of a battle coming his way with this man on your screen right behind him in Mr. Smith, Agent Smith we like to call him, but Dan Smith is his real name. And throwing the matrix at any possible way in the simulation department he possibly can for this racing event. It is an absolute belter here at Spa. We have still got 65 minutes to go, 75 minutes to go, in fact, ladies and gentlemen, of racing action coming your way. Boy, oh boy, in the fair dinkum department, I'm getting excited, and you can see here that Dan Smith is getting excited because he's just in that little suck train here at the moment. Not far enough to make a move, but it's a little bit closer. He's edging closer and closer here. It's still not 8:30. Boy, oh boy, I'm absolutely devastated. Had a brilliant segue to go with that one with the edging, but look at this man at the moment. Price is all over the back here of Eccleston for a moment. He was there, in fact, but oh no, just as I crossed to him, this is a sweat change for the lead, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness gracious me. Can you time it any worse there, broadcaster? Goodness gracious me. That is a switch for the lead. Dan Smith's got the job done, and we'll just see exactly how that happened right as we speak, unless Duffman can get through Pooh on here and make a absolute charge. No, he can't. So let's see how Dan Smith got that job done. I think he just dived it under the brakes. Yeah, it was a lock-up there. Minor lock-up. That's all it needed for Dan Smith to be invited up inside the beer man and take a couple of sips from his beverage as a just a side swipe from the table at the pub. Says, thank you very much, I'll have that lead, and he's got that job done. Speaking of which, Payrack here is now hounding the back of Price, Dino. This could be a little spicy one.
Oh, this man's on a charge. He's on a comeback here. He's gotten back up into 5th place. He will push hard. The price is wrong is sort of, don't look in your rear view mirror, mate. Just go eyes forward, because Payrack will be coming through at a great rate of knots. He's got the gap down to 3/10 now. I mean, the closing speed here, he's actually catching him. So he's getting good runs out. He's nowhere near the suck stream yet, but I mean, these tight corners coming up, you can make up a lot of time through here. He's staying tight to the corner too. Oh, hang on, he's right up there. I mean, make up time. Have a look at that.
That was close. That was half a sniff there. And tell you what, if you know what you do on a Saturday night at 2 a.m, half a sniff is a good sniff for sure. But these guys are really, really going for it. Look at this in the background here. Kingy now is trying to hound, Suda's trying to hound Kingy. In fact, they're going for each other here. The AMG versus the Mustang. And I'll tell you what, Suda's just got the pass done. So well done there to Flynn. Goodness gracious me, the old Tuxedo's come through and just said, bang, I'll take that one off you, Kingy. Give me the crown at the same time. And he has. Kingy's not happy about it. You can see him just flying his way, switching left and right on the steering wheel. Through Eau Rouge we go, flying up the hill. Now it's a big old suck train battle because there's no slipstream in front of him. Kingy's going to come back at a rate of knots here, I reckon. Let's ride on board and see how he does it. You can see the old Tuxedo going left and right. There he goes. Kingy's opted for the outside of the corner. Not the optimum line, but he's outbraked him through that. That's confidence is key there, ladies and gentlemen. What a move there from Kingy. That was sensational stuff there. Just gave Suda an absolute bath there and said, nope, don't worry about the dry cleaning, mate. I'm taking that one back off you. And these guys are racing hammer and tong. Look at this, nearly rubbing each other's paint off. No decals, no worries for these guys at the end of the race. It's still got an age and a half to go, and they're racing like it's the last lap of the race. Oh, that's wide there from Kingy. Suda's going to come back at him here too. He is. He's up alongside him here, coming into Puon. Oh, goodness gracious me, the Tuxedo up the inside. Kingy's gone wide around the outside. Tuxedo's thinking about it too. Up the inside again goes the old Tuxedo on Agent Smith. Oh my goodness gracious me. This is fantastic stuff. Kingy's just defending for his life, but he's attacking at the same time. Oh, into the right hander we go. Wowee, what an exchange from these blokes. That was sensational exchange there over 4 corners. What action more do you want on the track? Those guys are giving us an absolute rip tear of a visual spectacle there to take it.
Oh, these two guys are going hard at it. It seems Suda's just fallen off him a bit. Oh, hang on. We've got Payrax on Price here. He's around him. He's just going to go around the outside. Excuse me if you don't mind. I'm coming through. So what's he got now? He's got Eccleston in front, and I think he'll be pushing for that. I think Payrax got a bit here. That VB car, well, I mean, it just looks so impressive at the moment, but I hope he's not sinking him down the back straight.
I'll tell you what, he needs the old bobblehead. Remember on the old Cricket One Days with David Boone? He needs David Boone on there, I reckon, just to finish it off there for the old moneybags himself in the VB department. That is a cracking looking livery nonetheless. That's Aussie spirit as you like. Oh no, what's happened to Suda? He has just lost a couple of positions there. In the grand scheme of things, that's not ideal there for Suda. Suda got past King and then King got past Suda, and now they're traded places again. So these guys are now going on at the Tuxedo versus the second agent on the field, are just battling for their life here at the moment. This is fantastic stuff here. Look at him getting a suck here down the back straightaway. Now this is on like Donkey Kong. We can see him just closing and closing and closing. It's ever getting further and further towards an overtake, but it won't be done here for sure. He edges to the inside. Oh, he does too.
Yes.
Oh my goodness me, there's contact between the two of them. They've each nudged each other wide, battling with the old quarter panel and front bumper bars. This is insane stuff. 2 by 2. Monkeys absolutely see and monkey do. Wowee, that was fantastic again. These guys know how to do it. They know how to do it fair as well, giving racing room, giving space, giving each other some absolute mind tricks in the old strategical. And there goes Suda wide. Oh, King has just got a free kick there from 50 metres out, and just now that's an absolute barnstormer there. Suda's lost it. The old Tuxedo is now under pressure from the other man, and he's gone wide again and just let Smith through again. So now Suda's lost 2 positions in a corner and a half, ladies and gentlemen. Not the ideal place. He's going to have to go back to the drawing board, Dino, and think about that one once again.
Definitely, mate. The battle was on there, and I think he got too wrapped up in that battle. Hang on, what have we got down the back here? We've got Bell on Rogers, and Bell's coming through here. Ring-a-ding-ding. Get in there, mate. He is really coming up on Buck Rogers here. These guys, is he closing that, or did Rogers race around him? I just missed the start of it.
No, he was coming up. He was trying to attack for a position there, right. And the erection was right there with him, and just got the old blood flow happening and said, stick that up ya, and he's gone out the other side, Dino. So that is what happened between them. They were really, really close, but no overtaking needed there for them at this stage. But I'll tell you what, Duffy is edging closer here at the front. We can't take our eyes off this one, ladies and gentlemen. It has not been more than 1.2 seconds from lap 2, ladies and gentlemen. They've done 11 laps now between these guys. So the beer man has just come out of nowhere, ladies and gentlemen, and just set the timing towers alight. He's putting Adrian Smith under some sort of pressure. Cracking little opening stanza here from these two. Can they keep it going, though, is a big question. Or is Smitho just going to use that clean air to his advantage and just focus all eyes forward? I don't know what's going to happen, but he's ever closing here now up through Eau Rouge, and they've got themselves a little bit of a battle. 0.3 of a second it is. Into the braking zone they go. Just narrows it in early there. The beer man comes out the other side. Smith very, very wide on entry. He's trying to shape up that exit and just not make the car go off onto the bunda like that, and he didn't do so. Couldn't get the car turned in. Just battling some understeer by the looks of it. Mifsud's in the pits there as well on the timing tower, so he's come in early and gone for another one. Maybe some damage there too. But I'll tell you what, it's all happening here at the front. Let's see what happened to Archie White in the background. He's had an incident too. In fact, they've come together here. I think this is something nefarious indeed, unless the old timing board here was just giving me nothing. No, he hasn't. He's looped it around. Oh, geez, eat your heart out. Nearly punted someone in the pit lane. Oh, my goodness gracious me. You would have absolutely shut yourself there. That's a brown pants moment, being in the pit lane, trundling down, and Archie White just having to lick some wounds and get back to the racing action here. But we're at the front because Duffman is back on the arse end of Adrian Smith. 0.6 of a second now between the two of them, only just teetering on the edge. It's been 0.4, has been 0.6. Rogers has been switched positions with Justice there in 14th and 13th too, and AJ just had an absolute mare here too. We'll quickly check what happened to him. Oh, look at this. This is going to be a disaster here, I reckon. Rogers is just flung it in and just looped it on his own accord again. So two cars in the same lap, looping it, nearly took out the rear end of the car coming behind him. I'm pretty sure that was Kyle Douglas coming through as well, or the magistrate, and Dan Justice gets back on the old prowl and goes for it once again. Oh, geez, it's all happening. It's just never-ending action here, Dino. Bloody hell, our voice boxes are going to get a workout.
Mate, this is all action-packed. I can't believe we're not even half an hour in yet. What are we, 25 minutes in, and the action has already been outstanding. I mean, as this race goes on, we start to bring pit strategy into it. Guys have to start leveling their head now. Don't worry about what's around you. Just do your lap time. Get some perfect down. But here's... Oh, what do we got here? We got Ferber on Hamilton. This is happening. He's going up the inside here. I mean, this guy's got a bit of potential as well. He can make it up. He just needs to push. As I said, just head down, eyes forward, keep going, get your lap times. I don't think Hamilton will let this go early though. I think he'll stay right on it. I mean, look at that for bumper cam. The front of that Mustang, how menacing does that look right behind you? He's going to get a great run here. Now you've got to pick a side. Which way you want to go? We all want to go to the left. But he's got a juke to the right. What? He's going back. Oh, he's gone the crisscross. This is on. This is on. He's going to go straight up the inside here. Look at that move. You know, can he pull it up? They're both trying to pull it up. Ferber has to concede that one. He's straight through Hamilton. Thank you, mother, for the rabbits.
Yeah, beautiful overtake there. Just set it up at the exit of Eau Rouge and just got in the suck and thought, yep, I'm going to take that one by a country mile. And JJ Hamilton up into 10th place after Ferber stole it off him there momentarily for only about a kilometre. And he'll keep going. And it's still 0.6 of a second at the front end of the field here between Smith and Duffy. It just doesn't go anywhere. The rest of the field sort of spread out a bit with some incidents, some whatever's going on out the back there, and it's just an absolute rip snorter. Let's have a look and see back again how Ferber passed Hamilton. So it came into turn one here, just got under the windscreen and just said, yep, I'll take that one. Now at the back there, yeah, I'll tell you what, it was beautiful stuff because JJ Hamilton just got back inside the slipstream straight away, tried the attempt to crisscross early, but thought about it and then said, nah, I'll just do it on the back straight. We'll get through Eau Rouge here, and they did so, and then that was where the suck battle came absolutely on song, and you can see him come through here now at a rate of knots, just flung it to the inside there, and we'll see exactly how JJ Hamilton got the pass done there. He comes up the inside, switches to the inside of the left-hand side of the circuit, as Dino said, up done the brakes, gets the job done. Beautiful racing room between him, and they live to fight another day. Beautiful stuff. Absolutely sensational. Let's have a look back down here because Archie White He's getting a little bit closer here to the old Don Burke. Burke's backyard, in fact, there, Dino. That's a strike from the past. And his name's Sean, by the way. But he's had a mare. And I'll tell you what, there goes White just straight past Berkey. And said, yep, I'm on the ratings there. And Better Homes and Gardens takes over Burke's backyard, Champo. And off he goes into the distance. And that has just been absolutely delineated in a heartbeat there. And it's all up to eyes up the forward here because the Duff Man and Mr. Agent Smith are 100% going at it once again here, Dino.
Mate, that gap is going absolutely nowhere. You can still see Smith pushing it hard. He's still dropping those back wheels. He's coming up on a back marker here. This could be interesting. Are they going to let him straight through? That's beautiful blue flag work there. Beautiful. Got right out of the way and let these guys through. But what it's done is given Duffy a little sniff now. Look at that. Look at the gap start to close down there. He is right on him. This one is going to go at it. And all Duffy's got to do is get up there, get a good suck, and he'll be right. He can throw it up the inside and away he goes again. And these boys can just keep battling. All they're doing at the moment is trading places. But the gap is what I'm astounded by is the gap just hasn't opened up. They're right there. This is evenly matched. It's beautiful.
Oh, it is. It's sensational stuff, to be honest. They're absolutely flying of these two. They've got 3.5 seconds between himself and Bernie Eccleston, who can't get anywhere close to him. And now Payrack's got onto the back of Eccleston too. But this is now the fight for the lead of the race. It's 0.3 of a second thereabouts, nearly 4. But it's going to decrease here because the slipstream is coming into effect, ladies and gentlemen. That Mustang is punching a hole in the air for the other Mustang, but they're not following each other around at the rate of knots I thought they would. You can see the confidence there that Smith had into the second part of that straight. He just gained a 10th there just by fanging it and putting the foot on the throttle. And then Beerman had nothing to answer for there and just increased that gap there by an absolute country mile. But that one's get a little bit closer. This one here, is even closer again because the old Beerman is on the back of Eccleston, who had an absolute mare on that last lap. He's now having half a sniff. Can he get the job done here into turn 1? No, he can't. He's going to try and set the move up through Eau Rouge and Radion. I'll tell you what, that is fantastic driving there from the both of them. Just nosed it in there, did the old money bags, got the job done. Now he's just going to try and find the optimum line through Eau Rouge. Up the hill we go. And unless Eccleston has an absolute mare through here, this could be opportunistic for the both of them. Yeah, you can see Eccleston pushing hard there, even harder there for money bags. Just absolutely put all his coins on 21 black. And now he's got a beautiful run. Up the hill on the back straight we go. This is incredible stuff. Eccleston's got no answer for him. Up the inside, surely here for money bags. He's got the job done on Eccleston. Fantastic stuff. Aston Martin in front of the Mustang now. Now they're going for it, just abusing the old track limits. It's the old pay rack. He doesn't care though. He's thinking about the long form of the race. 30 minutes has just ticked over here 24 seconds ago, and we're thinking about here for the race finish. Still got another hour to go, ladies and gentlemen. This is bloody on like Donkey Kong.
Mate, Booney versus Bernie. That's what I'm calling this one. And these two guys are at it. And old Payrack, he got through then. That was a gutsy move. Both of them were going off track. They were throwing it all out there. I don't know how they held on to the cars, frankly, but they both seemed to come out of that okay. Now Payrack, he's sort of just putting a little bit of a gap on Bernie, but I think Bernie will start to come back here. When we get to the straights and he gets into that suck, that Mustang, you can't shake the things, can you?
No, you can't. Well, I'll tell you what, the form from Payrack here, he set the fastest lap of the race, ladies and gentlemen. A 2:15.979 is the quickest one of the whole session, and it's by an absolute country mile over the rest of them. It's like 0.3 of a second between himself. So he's found some pace here as Milan, and he's just showing everyone how it's done. He's got 3.5 seconds away from Duffy and the Agent Smith in front of him, but at this pace, he could start gapping that field beautifully and maybe think about a P2 could be on the cards if he just could be a bit more consistent. He's been on and off literally like a bloody light switch here in terms of race pace. He's got a beautiful lap hooked together, then the next one's a mare, and that allows Eccleston to get through on him. But now he's just found the rhythm, got himself back into a good old position here, and now he can think about it. There's the two leaders just in the foreground there of the shot, and now Payrack just can see them, and he can see a possible race win off into the distance, thinking about how he can go about it. Jeez Louise, it's cracking stuff here up and down the field. This is beautiful. This is the closest one on the circuit at this stage, and Payrack just flinging out those money bags left, right and centre. and to Eccleston. Eccleston's got nothing to answer for. In fact, I think Eccleston had a better run out of Eau Rouge there. He has, because that delta is now decreasing. It was 0.4 of a second. Now it's 3.5 of a second. It's going to be 0.3 right at the braking zone here for the both of them. They brake nearly at the same time. Good awareness there. You just got to take notes, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a racer at home and you're that car right there behind in Eccleston, you don't need to brake at the racing line. You need to brake that 10-15 metres earlier as the opponent would normally do in front, because if you brake at the same time, you'll send yourself right off into the rear bumper and punt them off. But what it does is it sets the pressure up. It gets the old cooker going. The air fryer's out there, and then you start to put a little bit of pressure on the guy in front of you. So Payrac now will probably be looking more forward than back, but it'll probably be a 60-40 split between the two of them. And that is what the pressure builds, and that is where the unforced errors come from, Dino.
Mate, these two guys, though, I can see Eccleston's doing exactly, it's like a Smith-Duffy replay again. He's just pushing a little bit too hard at the moment, which is giving Payrac a little bit of breathing room, and he'll see that gap opening up, and he'll think, right, this is good. But he's probably looking ahead to Duffy at the moment, going, you know, I can catch you, and that's where his marker will set. He stop looking in the rear vision mirror, which he's obviously doing, and just pressing on. But Eccleston at the moment, for my liking, just looks like he's pushing just a little bit too hard.
Yeah, just a little bit, not too much, but enough to sort of get you get yourself going. And I think at this stage, it's just a matter of, pick your mark, pick when your time is to make an overtake. And if that overtake happens, great. If it doesn't happen, that's fine as well. But at this stage, oh no, Payrac just looped it and unforced aired himself. That's the pressure we were talking about, ladies and gentlemen, and nearly sideswiped Eccleston to defend for position, and Eccleston just got a free kick. 2x2 into turn 1, Noah's Ark style they go. Now the VB car has just absolutely lost a position after we're giving him some praise and just picking his mark. The pressure got too much there for him. Eccleston back through into P3, and now these guys are going to trade paints, so to speak, for the rest of the night here tonight. Can Eccleston get a good move, the job done, sail off into the distance, or is Payrac going to come back at him at a rate of knots? And I think the answer is he's coming back at him at a rate of knots here. Look at that run out of Eau Rouge. He goes. Eccleston's already gone to the inside, but yes, now he's gone far enough. Now Payrac and Moneybags is going to try and put it all on 21 Black again here into turn 3. This is incredible racing from the both of them. 2x2. Eccleston nearly punted him off. Payrac's had to go to the infield. Eccleston's back around the inside. He goes. Payrac's just thinking about it on the outside. Can't get the job done. Now he's going to go for the switchback and try to outbrake Eccleston into a beautiful right-hand sweeping corner. He does too. Oh my goodness me. Fantastic racing from these boys. This is on like Donkey Kong here. This is for P3, the final step on the podium. 35 minutes into the event, and they are absolutely hounding each other. Payrac in front here. Eccleston's coming up at a rate of knots here too. He's already alongside him here. Into P1 we go. That was a late break there from Moneybags. He's gone wide and sent it too hard. He's going to get some track limit warnings here for this stuff at this stage. Jeez Louise, and the fair dinkum department. Eccleston and this boy in front of Moneybags going hammer and tong, absolutely sending it to the high heavens. They know how to go racing, ladies and gentlemen. I can give you the hot tip, but at this stage, it is looking like a tussle all the way to the end for these boys. They're not letting go of each other. Surely someone's going to blink and absolutely have a mare, or they're going to come together and the red mist descends in one of their cockpits here, and it happened for Eccleston there. He's given it up. Oh, live in 4K there, Jared. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Bryn at home will just absolutely be saying to you, mate, no action tonight there, old Bernie. And that's what you get for that. And Payrac's just been given the biggest free kick of his life. Oh, no, this is all on here. Weston's just dropped back 2 positions here right as we saw that. And Kingy and Price have gone past him. Thank you, mother, for the rabbits. And they're going to battle on too. Kingy and Price also a very, very tight little stanza there in that stuff as well. Let's have a look and see how Kingy got past Jeffrey Price there. I think he just got around the outside, did King. He did too. He just belts it around the outside into the bus stop chicane. Just comes through, comes out the other side of it. Says, thank you, mother, for the rabbits. I'll take that. They've got the power down, the throttle pedals up, and now they're going hammer and tong. It's McLaren versus Mustang versus Mercedes. Into turn 1, come out the other side, think about a move on the switchback. He does. He darts it back to the inside. No love lost here, but then they're all going hammer and tong again. Down up the straight. Now it's just a dead set misere between the 3 of these guys. And have a look at them go racing here. This is on like Donkey Kong here. Weston's, he is now looking at the back here of Kingy, who's Kingy should be up in P3 himself, and he's now handing it back here at Price. Is he going to send it up the inside? Let's see what he does. Late braking, no, just brakes a bit early. Lets the McLaren of Price go a little bit deep there and just wag that tail a little bit. Look at the overrun flames coming out of the back of that McLaren as he just tries to file that car back into some sort of racing line. Beautiful racing from these three. They're going hammer and tong here. This is all over P5 as well, ladies and gentlemen, as Parak and Eccleston battle just disintegrates into a 2-second gap. But this is feisty, Dino.
Mate, these guys are into it, but that Merc looks super settled. I don't know whether everyone else is seeing that, but from my eye, it just, I mean, I'm definitely not a professional sim racer, but that thing looks very settled at the moment. I love the way it's sitting. It just seems to be cornering nicely. It just seems to have this little advantage coming out of corners too. Seems to be able to get the power down. It just looks like it's flowing nicely, but he's right there. He's right on Price. Price is doing a great job of holding him. That's probably one of the hardest things to do. Hold someone when you know they're breathing down the back of your neck. I'm loving seeing the predictions coming through in the chat too. Yeah, the race is just going fantastic though.
Oh, it is. It's absolutely nuts. It's mental stuff here. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know which way they're going. I can't even predict this one here because Smith and Duffy could come back at a rate of knots here, and then all of a sudden we've just got someone binning it into the wall, into the bunda, and it could change in a heartbeat. And look at Kingy now. He's right on the back here of Price. He's looking. He's nosing up the inside into the chicane. Can't get that job done. Thank goodness gracious me. That would have been an absolute disaster for the both of them. But look at these predictions coming in. Eccleston is my prediction, says Grey Ward. Jeremy Bonds entered the chat there as well. Good to have you along there too. Max Dog says go flat. Jared Flynn and old Hamilton there too. Hell Reaper says racing. Indeed, mate. We are going racing. And look at these boys. They're absolutely flying here at the moment. Jeez Louise. In the fair dinner department. Dan Smith last lap was a 2:16 dead. 2:16.2 for Duffy and 2:16.3 for Payrack over P1, 2 and 3. This is the battle that is absolutely spicing up here. Look at the amount of herbs and spices. KFC, Colonel, eat your heart out. There's no secrets here at the moment in that department because up the inside, here goes Kingy on Price. He's got the overlap. He's got the inside run. Gets it braked early. Break later, sorry. Gets it out the other side and into fourth place goes old Kingy. Beautiful stuff here. He knows how to handle that Mercedes-Benz and he's showing these boys how to put on a show. Weston needs to get himself back in front of Price to make a little bit of a move. Green is into the pits with a black flag. Eccleston's into the pits too, actually, in fact. So he's pulled the pin early as old Burning. And he's way back in there. So we'll quickly just file to him to see what sort of tomfoolery is happening there with this man. He's just coming in. I think he's just putting some fuel in, maybe switch the tyres as well. But he's pulled the pin and going for the undercut move here, Dino. This should be interesting.
Mate, probably just needs a bit of a refresher too. He was in intense battles. He was starting to get thrown all over the shop. So it doesn't hurt sometimes to come in, have a pit, and then head on out and just put your head down and just bust out some laps. But the undercut could be on here well and truly. I mean, we're 40 minutes into the race. I'd imagine there'd be some pretty sore and sorry tyres out there. Smith and Duffy up the front pushing like they have been. I can't imagine those tyres will go much further at the moment. But
no.
I see Smith sort of got out to a good lead there, so he's definitely still got pace on him. But I'm really keen to see where Eccleston comes up here. I think this could propel him up a little bit.
Yeah, it could do. It's 40 minutes, so halfway is 45. So Eccleston's just pulled the pin early, which means he's going to have to go 5 minutes longer on a set of tyres. So he's going to be entering unknown territory in terms of how the car behaves with that tyre life in the final stint of this race. So a little bit of an unknown coming his way. I think the boys out in front will go exactly at the 45-minute mark if they possibly can. And what that does is that will give themselves a little bit of an education on how long those tyres last and how the car feels at the end of the stint, so they know how hard they can push early and they know how hard they can push late into the session. So a little bit of an interesting psyche battle there. Eccleston just going early for the undercut and hoping that he can hold on to the end and maybe put himself back closer up to the front of the field with Duffy and Smith. But that's all to play for, ladies and gentlemen. We've still got 49 minutes left to go of racing here. And I'll tell you what, this is heating up here. If this is 6th and 5th, Price is wrong, is in front. In fact, at the moment, it is right because he has got it in a top 5, but the old Compass has just tried to file himself back into this one in Western, and you can see the pressure he's putting on at the moment, and it's looking very, very spicy indeed. That McLaren is four-wheel drifting into the right-hand sweeper. That was hairy as then a great Gorilla's back and a Greek's back at the same time. Somehow he pulled it up, puts it onto the dirt there. A lot of dirt and dust being shown this whole race. I think dipping it out there doesn't hamper you too much here. You'd think iRacing would be one of the old simulators there to make your tyres dirty for probably 2 or 3 corners there, Dino, but it's not showing it at the moment. And Weston is just licking his wounds a little bit as the Price gets these couple of corners right here through the middle of Spa.
Yeah, mate, we've definitely seen tyres dropping off into the dirt there, and it doesn't seem to be affecting them all. Weston's just trying, I mean, Weston's go, oh, hang on. Oh, that was a close. That was nearly gone. I thought Weston, it was all over then. He was just starting to close in on Bryce, and then he's just slipped a wheel out, and she's just kicked out on him a bit, and somehow he's gathered it up. We've got another tight battle here. We've got Hamilton coming up on Smith. These two guys are going hard at it. So what is this, BMW versus Mustang? This is going to be a great battle. Can the Beamer hold off the Stang? I'm not sure at this point. Hamilton seems to be on a charge here. He's all over the back of it. He's making it look easy. This is on for young and old.
Definitely on for young and old, that's for sure. But look at that. Look at the closing speed here. Now he's just got to dart to the inside. Later on the brakes. There he goes. The BMW is holding fat there on the brakes, so he had to give up the ghost. He's just going to try and file it back in. Nearly took the rear bumper off that Mustang. Did Agent Smith. Boy, oh boy, in the fair dinkum department, that was closer than you want to be, but he's got a beautiful run here at the moment, has Smith, though. He's going to take Hamilton's place back off him again. BMW versus Mustang, and your hard into turn 1. They go through. Now JJ's just got to think about this Smith, has got to think about the switchback on him and go for it, but he's just lost 0.5 of a second there at the exit of turn 1. Now that's negated any proposition of maybe an overtake. Ferber's coming in the background here too. He's just got a beautiful little view here. Oh my goodness gracious me, got to go to the right camera. This is the bumper cam for him, so he's now got half a run onto the back straight. It's uphill through here, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't look like it, but it is. And if you get a mare out of Eau Rouge, this is what happens. You get a beautiful run down the inside here, and the old Agent Smith version 2 is just out braking him. Beautiful stuff. Kink it right, kink it left, come out the other side, use all the track limits you possibly can. Look at that BMW just checking on the brakes there mid-corner because he was going a bit wide there. Now you can see Hamilton just going half defensive there early in the corner. That's hurt him. That's given him a big old slide in the Mustang. This is cracking stuff. Agent Smith, the V2, he's right there. He's hounding the back of Agent Hamilton there as well in Lewis's love child, and they're hammering tonguing each other. Now it's 0.4 of a second between all 3 of these drivers. 1, 2, 3. This is all for P8, 9, and 10, ladies and gentlemen. They're racing for sheep stations here. If they were Kiwis at the moment, they'd be bidding on the highest, best-looking rear end. I'll give you the hot tip. But at this stage, it's looking pretty racy for all of them. Now it's all up to Ferber to get on the back end of Agent Smith V2. Thinking about it, just going a bit wider there. That was a good line there from Agent Smith. He just thought about it, dipped it onto the outside rubble there, but manages to pull it up. That Porsche is looking very, very racy indeed here at the grand scheme of things. And our leader has just come into the pits in Agent Smith. He will be filing his way in now. This will seem like an absolute eternity from the lead of the race, but he has cut it early, right at 45-minute mark. I predicted that one, Dino. Now Eccleston's going to get past him at some stage too and get right up there. This is a long, long pit lane. It is about 1.5 minutes, I reckon, by the time they file through, get their tyres back on, navigate this, and then come out the other side. And now Duffy's got to think about maybe an overcut should it work, but this man has blinked from the lead of the race early, and he's got the job done. And can he come out in front at this one? And speaking of which, look at that. You've got Kingy, you've got Price, you've got the other Smith in the pits as well. So now they're all blinking here at the dead set halfway mark. They've educated their brains in terms of what the car will do for the rest of the race. So they're going on and on and on with this one. And I'll tell you what, at this stage, one man, Dino Hanley, who has been out of this race but should be up there, is this man, Luke Fallon, second in the championship, sitting in 16th place at the moment. And he's going to be licking his wounds here, hoping for an absolute miracle to come his way in the grand scheme of things. No safety cars in iRacing here for these boys, and 16th place versus a possible first is just going to lose that P1 chance here. 5 rounds into an 8-round championship. It's going to be interesting for this man.
Oh, definitely, but I think he's going to push hard all the way to the end. It'll be interesting to see just how far up the field he can come. Can he go any further than this? I mean, the quality of driving here from everyone up and down the field it's going to make it tough to move forward at a great rate of knots. I'm really interested to see where all these pits end up, and let's just have pure racing towards the end. With the last pit stops that just happened for Smith, I mean, Duffy's right there. You're gonna want to think you want his pit stop to be perfect. Payrack's still in there. Hang on, we've got Kingy here. He's going straight up the inside of Price. He's made that look easy. Straight up the inside. And we look like we've got Fallon coming on the end here. So Fallon, he's still trying to come through. Fallon's gone up the right-hand side of Price. This is beautiful. Straight up the inside, straight behind Kingy. That was a move. That was on.
That was on like Donkey Kong, and he got the job done. He took advantage of a disadvantageous position there. These guys have just come out of the pit, so their tyres are as cold as an Eskimo's dick at the moment, and it's two Mercedes-Benz filing away through. Fallon's got the hot tyres on. Now he's going to try up the inside here, coming into Puat. Beautiful stuff here from the old smooth criminal. Can he make this move as smooth as Michael Jackson's moonwalk in 1986? He can here at the moment. 2x2, Noah's Ark style, and he pushes Kingy wide, gets through, forces the issue. Beautiful stuff there. Payrack's come into the pits. Duffy has not come into the pits yet, but Fallon here on a charge here. We just said he should be up where he should be at the start of this race. Just copped the drive through, and now he's come back out into P12. This is going to be a good old tussle here. Can he get himself in? But look at the battle at the back here. Eccleston's involved in this one. Kingy's there too, and I'll tell you what, that is fantastic from the Price, Kingy, and Eccleston. And look at that for a move up the inside. Opportunistic move there for Eccleston. Fantastic racing. Just pressed Kingy and said, I'm coming through, mate. Give me some racing room. And he just did. But now Kingy's coming back at him at an absolute hot pound here at the moment. Look at this on the inside. He's just got to nose himself in. Just nailed this little lift on the throttle there. They come through. Oh, massive slide and check up. Oh, Kingy's off. He's absolutely pirouetted 360 and behind him as well. I think that was who was that as well? Goodness gracious me. In the fair dinner department, I've lost them all. Was that Burke? No, it wasn't. Kingy's just managed to get himself back onto the field. That was absolutely intense. What the hell has happened there? Price is just crashed as well. Let's have a look at the Price is wrong at the moment. We just caught the back end of that one. He was trying to avoid Kingy in the background, hit the wall. Now he's got the advantageous position, but Richard, I'll tell you what, I think it's Richard King, but geez Louise, that was disaster. Kingy just went off the track. Let's have a look at how he did it too. Oh, geez, the old timing thing's just giving me an absolute mare there. He's showed me how it's done. We saw the front end of it. That's the back end. Just checked himself up, got in that dirty air, Dino, and that was all the downforce that he lost trying to fight that position back from Eccleston.
Mate, that's all it took. He just got a little unsettled there, and then the back of the car went, and I thought, hang on, he's got this, and then it just went straight out on you. I mean, if that doesn't show how on the edge, how hard these guys are pushing, I don't know what will. Here's Eccleston after his pit trying to go for the undercut here. He's still got a few of them that need to pit in front, I believe, or is that his position?
No, that's his position. He's in 13th at the moment.
He's in 13th. Yep. So the undercut still, we're just trying to see where that plays him out. Fallon's back up into 12th. Here's Duffy's back in. He's in the pit now, so this will start to even things out a bit. Weston will come through and should be able to take him, but this will even things right out now, so we'll be able to see where the front runners are sitting. This is a chance for Duffy to just get his head straight, get some new boots on, and go out and dance his heart out.
We'll see where this man is. This is the effective race leader at the pit stop when he came in at the 45-minute and 30-second mark, did Dan Smith. He was leading this race by 2 seconds over Duffman. And now he's rounding the final last two corners here of the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. And he's just sitting here hoping that one man, Garth Duffy, we call him the beer man, is going to get back on those back on the wheels, get off those air jacks and come back around, because Agent Smith is coming. He's into turn one here at the moment. He's just on the braking zone now. He's there. Now old Duffy is coming out of the pit exit. This could be a masterclass here from Duffy. It has. It's worked like an absolute charm. The overcut here is so strong. I'll tell you what, Agent Smith had nothing to answer for here. He's coming at a rate of not so. He's coming up through Eau Rouge now. This is going to be interesting. This is on board from Agent Smith. Now you can see up in the distance there that the Duff man is way out in front of him. Hopefully Duffy has an underfuel, but that is a huge disadvantage there. It's 4 seconds and decreasing here at the moment. But boy, oh boy, what an overcut there from the beer man. Just absolutely absolutely sung it to the high heavens, stuck it out fat for a couple more laps, and he's going to have fresher tyres to the end as well. So it's all on here for Agent Smith to get P1. It's going to be a hell of a fight, and it's only up to 3 seconds here, Dino, between those two for effective lead of this race.
Mate, that was a beautiful move. Duffy he just went in. He's got, what's he got now? He's got a two second gap. I mean, before it was 2 seconds the other way. So I don't know whether he's underfilled or anything, but it'll be an interesting one. Hopefully he's got enough juice to the end. And also, like you said, he'll have newer tyres. I mean, this will be on here. Smith will be giving everything to close that gap, which is quite evident when you have a quick look at the timing tower. He's pushing hard here. Duffy will still have cold tyres, so he'll be trying to get everything up to temp as quick as possible to push on, but Smith's got this under a second now. This is going to heat up real quick. We're at 8/10 now. Look at that time shooting down. We're at 7/10 now. We're at 6/10. These guys, he's coming at it. Smith is going to have him here. This will be on.
This will be on like Donkey Kong here, because it's cold tyres versus hot tyres, and it's 7 kilometres around this circuit or thereabouts, and that's how long it takes for those tyres to start to warm up. It's about 1.5 laps here, and the beer man has jumped him by that's a good 2.5, 3 second advantage, but it's now under pressure here. Agent Smith's coming at a mile an hour, and I'll tell you what, beer man's just not gone defensive there. Agent Smith's gone up the inside and taken back the lead there, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness me, what a drive there from this man. This is for effective P1 of the race, and I'm telling you now, the beer man thought he had it all done and whapped up there. He saw 5 seconds on the timing tower as he came out of the pit lane, thought no worries, but those cold tyres absolutely were cold as an Eskimo's tool, and that shows there, ladies and gentlemen. 2.5 laps is a difference between a 3 second advantage on cold tyres versus a 3 second disadvantage on the hots, and that is now effectively your leader of the race. Weston is 46 seconds up the road, but he hasn't pitted yet. He is still one of the only, I think he's only about one of 6 cars on the track who haven't pitted for this race so far, so he's going long on a set of tyres. It's only going to hurt him, but this is for the effective lead of the race. Dan Smith versus Garth Duffy, all on for P1 and 2, and it's now settled by at least a second. Beautiful stuff here as they all fall through. Justice is in the pit, Bella's in the pit, the Erection's in the pit lane as well. Don Burke, he's in there as well, just abusing his well, I guess the off-screen people, as we heard in the public knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. He was a beautiful man on screen, but off-screen, he was the old see you next Tuesday, I'll give you the hot tip. And he's just filing back through at a rate of knots there, but 1.2 seconds now for effective lead of the race here between the beer man and Agent Smith, and Agent Smith is pushing very, very hard indeed. It was 4 seconds at the exit of the pit lane between this man on your screen and that man out in front in the Castrol Mustang. Got disintegrated in a lapse time. 7 kilometres was gone. 4 second advantage. See you later. Cold tyres. Now Duffman just has to think about the long race here. He's got 33 minutes here before the end of the race. I think that's right, Dino. No, it's not. It's 43 minutes, in fact. 42 now before this, and the timer ticks down to 0. A long way to go, ladies and gentlemen, but still something to think about.
Mate, definitely. And Smith, smart play there. He only had a lap, maybe 2 laps at best, to take his advantage over Duffy, who'd pulled out that massive margin on the timing board while the tyres were still cold. And Smith on warm tyres, he just hunted, obviously knew his mission, head down, straight around him. That was beautiful driving. Smith now with everything to do to try to get back up there. Hang on, we've got a replay here. What happened to Ram Jam? He's coming into the corner here. He's come in a little bit hot. Oh, there's been a tap. There's been a tap into the pit. He's just got a little helping hand into the pit there. That's nice. Sometimes helps you out, sometimes doesn't. But Duffy here, he just needs to stay on him now. Head down. He's got warm tyres as well, so that margin's sort of evening out around a second. So all he needs to do is stay in this to the end. He's got fresher tyres, not by a massive amount, but probably by enough. He just needs to stay in it. Head down, keep as close as he can behind him. Try to minimise that gap.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is just unreal, ladies and gentlemen. I've not seen this sort of racing for a long time. Every week that this GT3 challenge just comes to life, it absolutely does exactly that. You just never know what is going to happen. You don't know who's going to be where. You don't know who's going to be leading a race at whatever stage. Pit strategies, crashes, misinformation coming around the whole racetrack, and with usually a 60-minute session here, we've still got 33 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen, for this whole race. And I'm telling you, It's on like Donkey Kong here for the start of the one. Great to have everyone with you in the chat. Good to see all you viewers out there at the moment. Loving every moment here too. This is fantastic. BZ's just in the chat in old Feral Verrill. He's got in there. Druado Gaming cheering on Luke Sky Social. Has anyone pit stopped yet? Oh, mate, I'll tell you what. It's Psych Social, sorry. Yes, they have, and they're absolutely all doing it at the moment. 45 minutes was the ideal time to come in. One man on your screen right now, Jared Eccleston, came in at about the 40-minute mark, so he's got a little bit of something to think about. He's got a long stretch on these tyres, sitting in 5th, 10 seconds away from any threat to P4 of the old money bags, but these guys are going hammer and tong. Dan Justice here at the moment is under all sorts of pressure here. He's actually going for a move on the outside of Fallon. Oh, what about that? He's going to get it stuck. No, he can't there. Fallon just stuck it up the inside. He got the switchback move, did Luke Fallon, up into 11th place. There goes the man who started off P2. Got a black flag drive-through mechanical, and he's just on the charge back through the field here, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me. And he's getting pressured here at the moment from the old magistrate, throwing Gavrils out the window, just trying to crack the old Fallon's windscreen near the criminal. In fact, it's the magistrate versus the criminal again. This is round 4 or 5 of the season. These guys have come together, and the criminals come out in front of the magistrate. Just said, no, I'm going for it. They're both weaving their tyres backwards and forth, trying to warm them up, because I'll tell you what, coming around here, it's all in, on like Donkey Kong. But this man is in the pits, and he's already been overtaken by the Duff man and Agent Smith. So where is he going to file out in the grand scheme of things is Tim Weston. Had a great little stanza out there in front. Here comes Bernie Eccleston coming down the second of the straights into the O'Rouge section, and I'll tell you what, Weston's just coming out of the pits. In fact, he's up the top end of O'Rouge. Jared Eccleston's going to get him here for sure, just based on pure tyre heat. In these GT3 cars, they absolutely sing. As we saw earlier, 5-second advantage turned into an overtake by the end of the lap, just on cold tyres versus warm ones. So Eccleston here should take it easy there and get back into 4th place. Cracking drive from this man. He's been absolutely on fire. This is V2 Agent Smith here, one of the duplicates, and now he's within 5/10 here at the moment of this big man, but we're going to have to cross back to him, because at the moment the magistrate versus Fallon here, Dino, has not got away at all. 2 or 3 tenths of a second between the two of them. Now it's 6 tenths, in fact, so Fallon's just galloping away. But we'll go back here to one of our viewers' fans and get back to JJ Hamilton, because he is now under pressure here from Agent Smith V2.
Mate, here he is. Hamilton he's just on a bit of a charge, but Smith is right there behind him. He's got that car planted beautifully. If he can just stay there to the suck zone, he'll be able to put something on here. But it looks like, oh, hang on, we've got to change for the lead. We've got to change for the lead. Duffy is around Smith. I don't know what happened there, but something has happened. Duffy straight around Smith. He's got a little bit of a gap here too. He's up 4 tenths already. Something definitely has happened to Smith there in the background that we've missed. And here's a replay for us. So he had a nice, he's just had a little bobble, and it's just sent him wide. He's just locked. The car's had a bit of a bobble, sent him wide off track. And then look at that. Here comes Smith. Thank you.
Oh, that was beautiful stuff. The Duff man just took it by an absolute storm there. Just saw the opportunity and said, yep, I'll take that one. All it took there was a wag under the braking zone there, and that was Agent Smith's race lead lost, ladies and gentlemen. Gone there, but he's now back all over Duffman too. These guys have been trading places. This has been one of the, at the moment here, no criticism, but just some observations here from Agent Smith. One of the dirtier races that I've seen him race. He's usually just absolute pinpoint accuracy on every single lap, leading and winning races by at least 10 or 11 seconds over the competition. But tonight here, he's just not at one with that Mustang. I said it right at the start. It looked like it was a little bit understeery there for Agent Smith. So not gotten the old setup just bang on here for him, and he's battling it the whole way around. But hats off to this man in front so far, Garth Duffy. He is just absolutely flying here, keeping Dan Smith honest and on his toes, and that is all pressure that you need, ladies and gentlemen. Just need someone within that 1 to 2 second bracket for the whole race, and it just starts to build. The kettle starts to boil in your brain, and it just, when it comes to the whistling stage, you can see what happens there, and that's what happened to Smitho in the background, and in that replay, sorry, and he's coming at a rate of knots once again. So he's just thinking about how he can go about it here and get that position back. These guys have been trading places the whole race. It is never let go. Entertainment Plus, ladies and gentlemen. if you're thinking, oh, you're not entertained here at the moment, the old gladiator style, I'll eat me shoot, because this has just been an absolute barnstormer, and it's on again because one Smith is going for it here at the front. The other one here in V2 is going for it at the back of JJ Hamilton. Look at this, Dino. This is an absolute barnstormer of a battle once again.
These guys are into it. He's right up the back of Hamilton here. Geez, I love me some close racing. He's right there, and they're both running it into that gravel line. And like we've said, it doesn't seem to be slowing him down, but Smith's got a bit of a run on here. I mean, he's 2/10 away. We're starting to come into a zone where a little bit of suck will come into effect. I think he might be too far away at the moment. He's just sort of let Hamilton get away from him a bit. We'll go down into the right-hander, then we'll cut back to the left, and that's where the suck zone is. He just can't quite get the car up there. So Hamilton looks to have the advantage through those fast sweeping corners.
He does. He just looks a little bit toey through these fast ones versus what that Mustang is. The Mustang is 100% planted, and it's no wonder because they're both leading this race. And at this stage, at the point in time, it has just gone from 3/10 to 5/10 to a second to back to a little bit of a gap there too. That was a little bit of a tail wag there on the exit of turn 1 there for Agent Smith. So he's given up half a tenth, which could be the difference between himself getting a good suck here up through Eau Rouge and then out the back, up the uphill back straightaway of Spa-Francorchamps. And now it looks like it's getting closer. It's 3/10 of a second. Now it's 2/10 of a second. In fact, this is getting very, very spicy here. Beerman will see him coming. His Agent Smith is going to go for the send up the inside. No, he's too far back here at the moment. Just breaks that metre and a half earlier. Noses it in early. Gets it over that inside grass of the right-hander. Gets it through the left, then back through the right again. Bowling Max, your dickhead, so to speak. And then he's just pulled it all away. That is what happens, ladies and gentlemen. You try to overdrive these things, the tyres get a little bit feisty, and then you lose that balance that you thought you had. And he just gave away 3/10 there, just with a little dip off into the bunda there for Agent Smith. That's given Beerman a little bit of a breather once again. We're an hour and 3 minutes into this race. We've still got 27 to go before the timer ticks down to 0 and that checkered flag is waved. Once that fat lady sings, ladies and gentlemen, one of these two here are going to take it. But by how much is the gap going to be? We do not know, because they've been trading places here more than a bloody Sunday market here at the moment. They're just giving each other some sort of car parts to each other and saying, I'll have that. Oh, you got a turbo, mate? Yep, I got a turbo. You can have me intercooler in the piping. All right, that's a fair deal. And then they've been giving each other door handles. And that was another error there from Agent Smith. Just dips it off into the gravel right at the worst place of the circuit to do so, because this is where you need to get all of that pace advantage to get a bit of a old slipstream down this back half semi-straight, whatever you want to call it, sweeping left and right section of Spa-Francorchamps. They know how to do it, and they're going absolutely barnstorming here. This is fantastic racing. 6/10 of a second it is between them. Agent Smith out in front here, just battling for that. The old V2 is in the background here, and he's right again on the back of JJ Hamilton. This battle here is still going on like Donkey Kong, Dino.
These guys are still going for it down the back here. We've got a 4/10 gap. So Hamilton just can't seem to pull away from Smith. These guys are going at it just like it's a 1-2 for the lead. But I mean, Smith is right behind him. It's close. He just needs to get a good suck here, but I still can't get past the fact that that Mustang coming into the fast sweepers and out of him, it just looks planted. Smith at the moment, he's got a run here. He's going to go up the inside. He's going to throw it straight up the inside. That is as authoritative as it gets, but he's had to back out of it. Hamilton's got him back through the left-hander there. Anyway, with this plays on. We've got the hairpin here, and then it's a big suck battle up over that hill.
Oh, it is incredible stuff. Look at that. That's just beautiful racing. Even shows the nose up the inside into turn 1 again and thinks about it, but doesn't get that job done. Now he's just hurt himself on the exit there with that. It's the overtaking, but also the defensive line, and it hurts you on the exit there. But you've got about 2 kilometres of nearly slipstream right behind each other through this section. Absolute carnage through here in most racetracks and events that you see. But at the moment, he's got a beautiful run. This is just getting closer and closer by the millisecond here at the moment. Fantastic run up the uphill straight. 2/10 of a second, 2.5 tenths. Now down to a little bit. He's going to try and send up the inside. Shows the nose, just puts the pressure on Hamilton. Again, does the old Agent Smith V2. But can't get that job done. And speaking of which, he's right there as well. Right as his old V1, the OG, up in front there too. He's getting very, very close also. Goodness gracious me, where do we look here, Dino? I don't know where to look here at the moment. These guys are going hammer and tong. This is just fantastic racing from all of them up in front. Dan Smith is right on the back here again. We're going to have to switch to them because this is now on like Donkey Kong. A little bit of a smoke signal again off into the gravel, and that has just hurt Agent Smith. It's 0.2 of a second now, ladies and gentlemen. This is just absolutely on like Donkey Kong here. I can't believe what I'm seeing. We've got two Smiths fighting over position. It's a 1/10 and a half now. Duffman just has no downforce to it and confidence in that section, and here comes Dan Smith, ladies and gentlemen, into the chicane. He's taking the inside run. He's going to get that overtake sealed. He does, and it's a switch for the lead once again here at Spa-Francorchamps. Wowee, in the fair dinkum department, these guys are not letting go of each other. I cannot believe my eyes. But now it is all up to Agent Smith not to make any unforced errors and just battle that car with the setup through the whole race, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's just at your heart out here for these boys. It's just back and forth, Dino. I cannot believe what I'm seeing here. This is the closest battle on average for the lead of a race I've seen in probably a year.
Oh, mate, this is beautiful stuff. But Duffy, this is where he comes into a league of his own. He just likes to fill the mirrors. He's right there. He's not letting Smith get too far away. He's got the suck here, which will be great. It'll put him right on that bumper again. See if he can force another mistake from Smith. I mean, as I said, he's just driven so well tonight, keeping the mirrors full. Like, these guys are tight. Now, we just need to keep it clean, keep it off that gravel, get your lines right, hit your apexes, and let's make it a nice, smooth finish to the end. Duffy here, he's not letting him get away with too much, so Smith just needs to control himself. Don't worry about pushing too hard at them, but just pick your lines, get your lines right. Make sure you got the racing on. I'm not the coach to be going through this, Zach. I think this is your department.
No, you're doing a great job, mate. This is just like the master giving the apprentice the advice, and the apprentice just tacking on, and beautifully done so. So well done to you. There's a blue flagger in the way, gets out of the way nicely there for those two as well. But it is a great point that you raise there, Dino. It's exactly right. I'll tell you what, the adrenaline in the beer man's helmet at the moment, he will be like a big horny cat in the middle of the night, just looking for some sort of action, and any that comes his way again, he's just waiting for Dan Smith to think about some sort of a little bit of an unforced error that he could possibly make once again to inherit that lead. And it's not, he doesn't make it easy as a beer man when he's out in front. Agent Smith has to work for it. He has to think about which way he's going to go. Is he going to dart it there, right there through, and just send it absolutely full throttle, or just send it at the least point for the whole race? Because I tell you what, there's different sections of this track where they're both strong, and the beer man there was right there too. He just matched him absolute sector for sector on the times there. The last lap around there was a 2:16.26, and it was a 2:16.4 for the Duff man. So they're only about 0.3 away from each other. It's only milliseconds, ladies and gentlemen, between these two, and I'm absolutely loving this. Hope you guys out there are loving this as well in YouTube land. If you haven't already, please, for the love of God, give these boys an absolute like on the video. Gives them more exposure to show the talents out there. But subscription to our channel at Sensational TV helps us go along and bring you more content to the viewers, gets the algorithm out there. All your support is there as well, and click that notification bell to give your notifications on the YouTube app to show when we are going live, and there's plenty of action every week coming your way. We've got this race tonight, we've got Fargon Racing as well, which will be underway right about now too. So it's the conclusion of this race. I'll probably be halfway through race one, and we've got the Wednesday Cup tomorrow as well, with Sensational Esports own hosted. And then Formula Fridays as well for Fargon Racing. And then Sunday again back here at Aussie Sim Racing with their Gen 3 Supercars Championship too. So plenty of racing action. If you're enjoying it, let us know in the chat as well. But this is on like Donkey Kong. 0.5 of a second, Dino, is happening here. And one Smith is there and the other Smith is here, trying to fight for P8 around the outside. P7 and 8 between himself and Hamilton. This is also another cracking battle that we've been teeing into for the whole race, ladies and gentlemen, because these guys have not let each other go as well. We've got some fans in the chat cheering on Hamilton too. So it's a little bit of a on-track and off-track battle here in terms of who's going to come out on top. And I'll tell you what, the version 2 of Smith is is keeping Hamilton honest here. He's just been on him the whole time. They've been trading places, looking at each other's nose and rear bumpers, and it's just been beautiful to watch.
Oh, mate, these two battles, these guys are just not letting each other go. Hamilton does something and Smith's got an answer for it, and vice versa. It's right now. I mean, Smith's within 3/10 now. 3/10. And we're at what? The 1 hour, 11 minute mark. I mean, how close do you like it? Look at that cornering there. He's got beautiful closing speed. It's just that Mustang on the exit. It just seems to have a little bit of something extra on the exit. If Smith can get it up there for a slip zone, though, he'll go straight up the inside, and then I think it'll be hard to pass. I think whoever's in the lead out of these two guys, whoever's behind, it's just going to be really hard to pass. So Smith just needs to get up there, try to get the suck on, and hold the line. Just make that Beamer as wide as 6 buses.
Yeah, he does. In fact, I don't think BMW make buses, in fact, so it's a little bit of a double entendre there. But he needs to make them as wide as a couple of those GT3 cars and get that absolute beautiful line there mastered throughout the whole circuit, because he'll give Hamilton an absolute bath as he does there into the final chicane. Now on to turn 1 we go. These guys are only separated by 3/10 of a second, and they're going at each other like it is the last lap of the race. They are hammering each other. Now it's all up to Agent Smith V2. He's got a good run here. You can just see it brewing here, ladies and gentlemen, like an absolute beautiful morning coffee or a beer at the old craft beer station. He's just got it beautifully nosed in there to Eau Rouge. Comes out the other side. It's uphill now. He's got the slipstream and he's got the kilometre per hour advantage. Now you can see that Hamilton's seen him coming. He's just got to get in the slipstream a bit more there, does Agent Smith, because he's not far enough up, but he's going to go for the send anyway here. Up into the turn 4 section we go. Lovely job done. Trading paint there as well. A little bit of side bumping action going for the both of them here. They're just going to redress it and keep going racing. That is etiquette at its best, and nearly a slip and a slide and an absolute U-turn for Agent Smith V2. Caught at the last minute. That is some car control in a GT3 car. No ABS. Heaps of ABS and traction control. When you get into a slide in these things, ladies and gentlemen, you can usually do a Max Verstappen, lock the front brakes up and just pirouette yourself back around. But when the old electronics come into it, if you're in a half-death slide, it's nearly like a passenger in that thing, and you just got to accept your fate and go for it. That was so close there between Hamilton and Smith. Just been an absolute nightmare. But they come out the other side okay. The other Smith in the front of this race, leading Duffman by 1.1 seconds out in front, so it's just petered off a little bit there. It was not too far away, a 2:15.7 versus a 2:16.1, so Agent Smith has got that Mustang dialed in here late into this stint. Well, believe it or not, Dino, we've only got 16 minutes to go in this race. It has gone by in an absolute flash, and boy oh boy have I enjoyed every second of it.
Oh, me too, mate. 16 minutes to go. Where has all the time gone? I'm interested in this little battle here to see if Smith can get back on the end of Hamilton. These two guys are racing as hard and as fair as you could ever want. We just got another subscriber there. Thank you, Michelle. But here we go. Smith is right on the back of Hamilton. Let's see what can happen here. I'm sure he can try and close that gap a bit. It's out to about 7/10 now, but it's like I said, it's all the closing speed. That BMW seems to have some closing speed. And here's Flynn Suter now. He seems to be all out in his own. He's, 6 seconds away from 5th, and he's got an 8-second gap to 7th. So he's doing a great job. All he needs to do, just out on your own. Beautiful place to be. Just head down. Don't worry about anyone else. You wouldn't be seeing anyone in the rear view mirror. Wouldn't be seeing anyone in front of you. Nice place to be.
It is a beautiful place to be, to have an own racetrack fully to yourself in all peripherals, front and rear. And this, Michelle, is, I hope, could be your husband racing around at the moment. So good to see you looking in on the stream, and thank you for the subscription as well. This is your man, and he's driving very, very well tonight. Just come out of nowhere, as well as the old tuxedo, and just gone for the race in the P6 position, and he's secured it here at the moment. An absolute nightmare would make him get any further down the grid with an 8-second disadvantage over JJ Hamilton in front of him. And it's looking pretty good. It's a good looking car, that Mustang too. And the old chrome blue boost livery there is a popular one. There's a couple of drivers running that livery tonight. as well. Eccleston's one of them, Suter's the other one, and I think Hamilton also is running that livery too, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he is. And that battle has also petered out because Smith has an absolute mare, and we're going to have to see.
Duffy's right up on Smith.
Let's have a look at this one. He's right there for that one before we go to a replay. 0.6 of a second again here for the lead of the race, ladies and gentlemen. It's only 14 minutes left to go. So it's only about 5-6 laps left in this one. They've done 34 so far. Can they get to the 40 just based on pure lap times around this circuit? I'm not too sure, but it is still on like Donkey Kong here. These guys are absolutely loving life here at the moment. This is fantastic stuff. I'm loving every single moment of it. Let's see. Let's go back and just quickly check a replay here. This is for the minor positions. This is for P21, but this is Ram Jam Potter getting past Greg Cook, and I think this will probably be a pit stop battle here as he rounds over through Eau Rouge, just sends it through there. Is the timing tower just giving me an absolute mare? It probably has there, Dino. Just ignore that sort of stuff. Let's get back to the live stuff here. Ram Jam's just doing a great job in the Wizard, but this is on here for the race. This is the closest battle on the track by a good 5 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. And it's over P1, believe it or not. This is now the dying stage of this race. They're both thinking about how long are these tyres going to last? How far can I get myself further up into the rear bumper and of the car in front of me? And there's some lap traffic to navigate, just closing in at a rate of knots here for Smitho to think about. So the agent just has to work his matrix skills, get himself back into it, into the simulation, and think about how he's going to get past that car in front of him. And that could absolutely invite Duffy up into a P1 position if that goes to absolute mare time. But I think it's a perfect place here for Smitho to get that suck, and he does, because that blue flagger has just got right out of the way. Absolute etiquette on song and on point here at Aussie Sim Racing in the blue flag department. 3 Mustangs line astern, 2 are in the race lead, 1's getting lapped. But boy, oh boy, in the fair dinkum department, it is an absolute representation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars in the Ford Blue Oval Mustang inside the top 10. We've got 12 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen, before this one's over. But I'll tell you what, it is far from over on the circuit here.
Mate, sorry to have cut you off then. I just saw the gap come right down and I thought, look out, it's on. I'm not sure whether there was a mistake from Smith or whether Duffy just had a cracking couple of laps and just reeled in the time. But you have to remember, ladies and gentlemen, Duffy's he's still got a few laps less tyres. His tyres are a few laps better off. Sorry, I'm wrong way around here. I'm just starting to throw at the mouth, mate, over a little battle here for the lead.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm doing the same thing too. We have to jump back because V2 Agent Smith went off the track as well. So we'll see what happened to him. Also got another subscriber. Mez has just done it. Oh, no. Agent Smith into the wall. Oh, dead set misère for him. He's flicked it into reverse pretty quickly to get out of the way. The car's coming through. Dead set disaster for the agent. He was right up there. He was fighting for P7, but he's still in P9, ladies and gentlemen. So after all that sort of nonsense, he still managed to retain a top 10 position here. Luckily, there was a long way between himself and Ring-a-Ding-Ding in Bell there. That's a great nickname there, Dino. I love that one. Good stuff there from yourself. But this is the lead of the race, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching. That man in the Castrol Mustang is out in front. And he's going at it hammer and tong. He's loving every single moment of this, the closing stanza of the 90-minuter. Spa-Francorchamps has delivered. I'm telling you, if these cars were not line astern with each other and everyone sort of petered out, we would not have racing battles up and down the field to broadcast. But these drivers have put on a show tonight, shown us how to do it. And these guys are still within a second of each other here for the final dying moments. Agent Smith has been under all pressure tonight. He's gone off the track 3 times in this race and given Duffman an absolute opportunity to take this win, but it is still within the second of these two, and it's been that way the whole night. It's been between 0.3 of a second and an overtake, or 1.1 seconds for the whole race. Can you believe it? That is what these boys are doing, and this is how you go racing, ladies and gentlemen. You just get it done, get it sold. And speaking of getting it sold, Don Burke in 18th place has just been given the old black flag. He's going to have to come back through the pits. He won't be happy about that. That looked like pretty on the limit there, slip angle style there from Agent Smith, and that's helped him. In fact, it's given him 0.3 of an advantage through the bus stop chicane. We have got 10 minutes and under left to go in this one. 90-minute special Aussie Sim Racing and the GT3 challenge is just giving us an absolute spectacle here tonight, Dino. boy, oh boy, can we see a little bit of a fight back here from Duffman to take the lead off Agent Smith.
Mate, I'd love to see a little bit of a fight back here. I love a little bit of battle, but I think Smith is just starting to pull away from the Duffman at the moment, just little by little. The only thing I am noticing is Smith is still pushing hard. I don't know if he quite needs to push as hard as he is dropping wheels into the dirt, but Duffy still has those fresher tyres. I mean, we've got, what, 9 minutes, 8.5 minutes to go here. I don't know if they'll come into play. Surely those tyres have got to be getting sore. I would hate to be a rear tyre on this car right now.
No, I'll tell you what, it'd be bloody hotter than a dodgy Vindaloo, I'll tell you that much, or as hot as an arsehole with diarrhea with Dino Hanley. We all know what that feels like, but I'll tell you what, Duffman is 1.3 seconds away, and he has got a he's got a one lap tyre disadvantage to the man out in front. So it could all be over, but never know, ladies and gentlemen. That is what sim racing brings you. That checkered flag has to be waved, and the old fat lady has to sing to finish off this one. It's been great to have you all in the chat here. We've got John Pettit in the chat there. We've got we saw Jeremy Bond in there too. Loving this, he says. Thank you very much. Great Ward super chatted us $20 as well. Started the bidding war. It's just been on like Donkey Kong here. I'll tell you what, Mezza as well. Get him. Dan Dom Lenates, I think is what he's saying. I don't know what he's talking about there, but Mezza, thank you very much for that one as well. It's been a barnstorming race, this whole race. It's just starting to get to that little bit of a lull in proceedings, and that means, we know what that means, Dino. You're all too familiar with that. Something's going to happen. Something is going to happen. And I don't know whether it's in the form of this one here at the start of the leading pack, or if it's going to be up and down the field. We will never know. But they've all pretty much spread out a little bit here in the grand scheme of things. We've got just under 8 minutes, so we've got 7 minutes to go exactly there, barring a few seconds now left in this one. It's a 2:16 dead on the last lap there for Duffman versus a 2:15.97. So just a little bit something to think about there. In fact, it was a 2:16.3. My timing tower just gave me a mare. Not looking at the right thing, but this man has led the race for most of the race here tonight, barring a few errors on his own accord, and he's been doing it well. Has the old Agent Smith just matrixing himself into a commanding position. That's now 1.7 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, between P1 and P2. And it's just been an absolute barnstorm. Well, let's have a look at Shawnee Burke, because I'll tell you what, Don here, oh no, he's just going to come into the pits and it tells me he's crashed. No, it hasn't. He's gone up. He's looped that Porsche around, half looped it around. Yes, he does. He got back on the throttle, bang into the wall. He goes, absolutely writes off that car and just sends it to the pit lane. He's had enough. No rear wing on that Porsche. And back to the drawing board he goes, the old Don Burke, swearing and cussing his way back into it. In fact, let's have a look at this man, because Luke Fallon copped the drive-through for overtaking at the start of the race, and he has been on the back end of every single battle coming through, and he's about to take maybe a P10 here off Ring-a-Ding-Ding in front of him. That is a little bit of a points advantage here for him. He won't be too upset about getting a top 10. I can give you the hot tip. Stick around for the driver interviews after the race, ladies and gentlemen, as well, because these boyos will be rip snorting and ready to go in the grand scheme of things. Loving every moment. Look at Fallon on the back end of this. He's just absolutely handing him at an absolute rate of knots here. This is just like Scandia versus the old James Cook special here in the yacht department. He just had a bit of a mare there on the exit of Eau Rouge. Now he's coming out the back straight. He's in the slipstream now. Now he's got to think about it. He's going to get the move done here, surely. There's Luke Fallon into the top 10. Won't fight it too much there. Will Ring-a-Ding-Ding. And then comes to the top 10. Does Luke Fallon go? 1.2 seconds at the front there, Dino. And these boys are having an absolute barnstorm over time. At the closing stage of this race, 5 minutes less to go in this one. And I've loved every minute of it.
Mate, definitely, but Fallon with a good performance there, back to 10th after a drive-through, and he's had some hard driving through the field. It hasn't been handed to him. That's a really nice result, but that move, that was so authoritative. He's just thrown it up the inside, got the slipstream and gone, excuse me, I'm coming through. There seems to be stuff going on up and down the field at the moment, but that gap up the front's opened up, so, I mean, this is where we should be looking. Fallon with a beautiful job. Yeah. Beautiful job coming back through.
Beautiful job, in fact. Let's have a look at Jason Hutchins, because he's, it said he's crashed here. And, yep, he has. He's crashed in the pit lane, in fact. As the old, what was that band called? In Excess. And yeah, not the best result for him. Just crashing into pit lane, not the ideal place to do it. But he's just going at a very, very slow pace. In fact, maybe he's ran out of fuel, Dino. I'm not too sure. But that man on screen right now has had a good old fight back. 2:15.5. Quickest lap of the race. That is unbelievable pace. He's done a 10th over Agent Smith in front of him in P1. That is 1.8 seconds now in the lead of this race. Hats off to this man, though, Eccleston. He's fought hard, tooth and nail, Dino, and really given us something to cheer about, finding his way back through the field after an early pit stop, and he's in full unknown territory as of now on terms of what those tyres are doing, pitting at the 40-minute mark of a 90-minute race.
I think those tyres are a bit sad and sorry for himself, but he went for the undercut, and I mean, it paid off. It's put him into 4th position now. He's got a good sized gap behind him. I mean, he's nearly 9 seconds off Payrac, but he's, you know, like 7 seconds ahead of Weston, so he doesn't have to push stupidly here for the last couple of laps. Just let that timer count down nicely. We've got about 3 minutes to go. And those tyres would feel terrible at the moment, so he's just babying it nicely at the moment. You don't have to push too hard. Don't get the arse of the car swinging around. Let's not do a Beyonce. Let's keep it nice and tight. Let's hit the apexes and just get through the corners. He's doing a great job there. He's not going on the gravel. I mean, this is beautiful driving on tyres that are, let's be honest, probably shagged.
Yeah, I think Austin Powers level shagged at the moment. Shagadelic, baby, I would say, for him. But it's a cracking little drive from him. Unknown territory. Still fanging around 14 seconds off Payrac, which he was battling with early on in this race. He'd probably be ruining the day. He decided to pit at the 40-minute mark rather than that 5-minute mark, and you can see him understeering a little bit wide there, but a great drive nonetheless. Speaking of which, this man with our favourite livery on the circuit, the old VB man himself, well on Payrac. 3rd place. He's going to take a podium here, ladies and gentlemen, with 2 minutes left in this race. Only 1.5 laps left to go in the old overall sundry. And he's just shown us how to go racing tonight. He's got that Aston Martin tuned pretty nicely. The lonely Aston Martin inside the top 10. Douglas is the next one in 14th place. And he's just single filing his way around. Here is the old money bags, and he's just going for it. Hammer and tong here, 8 seconds off a P2. He'll be settling for that one for sure. At the end of this one, he'll be happy with that performance here. But this man here should be stoked with his old performance as well. This will be the penultimate lap, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to come around for one more time, Daft Punk style, here with 1:28 minutes and 43 seconds gone out of 1 hour and 30 minutes. They'll cross the line with a good old 30 seconds left to go, I reckon. And this could be the dead set performance of the whole season here for Dan Smith. Had it all against him tonight. The understeer was just killing him. And he's just found himself into a sort of vision that is absolutely on song. Finally got to grips with that Mustang in the dying stages of this race. Now, Dino, I have to just give you a little bit of inside information. Do you have the Aussie Sim Racing Discord?
Yes, I do.
You do. We're going to have to jump over to them at the conclusion of this race to interview our drivers at the end of it. And you can unmute yourself in Discord there as well to hear what they're saying once we jump over to them in the chat to hear what this man, if he decides to jump in and say something as well with Duffy and Payrac for the podium. But there is 18 seconds left in this race, ladies and gentlemen, and it has been led by Dan Smith. He has had an absolute barnstormer of a night. Had it all against him and all for him at about probably 8 or 9 times during this race. He has driven the wheels off this thing, Dino, and I'll tell you what, it is full credit to this man. He has just shown what the championship leader does. Doesn't give up when the odds are against him, or the setup on this car as well, and he's just absolutely shown us what to do.
Oh, he's done a beautiful job tonight. I mean, he's obviously battled that car for a while, and he just sort of, as you said, come to grips with it, got his head together, put it down, and just got on with it. There's been a few mistakes here and there, but at the end of the day, look at him. He's out in front. He's got 2.4 seconds at the moment, so it's just been a beautiful drive. Especially, it's so hard to drive a car that you just can't quite come to grips with. It just starts to get away on you, but he's really showed you how to do it tonight. He's done a beautiful job.
He's done a great job as Dan Smith, and thoroughly leading this championship now. Luke Fallon in 10th place. His closest rival will be hurting in the points department. This will probably help Eccleston as well, who was in third place at the start of this race, and he's in fourth place, and so he could be fighting his way back up into a P2 place. But it's been beautiful stuff. We've had it everything coming our way, ladies and gentlemen, tonight. It has just been up and down the field, battles left, right and centre, accidents aplenty, people coming a guts up, and we're going to have to look at this because the Wizard has had an absolute nightmare here. The old Ram Jam Potter just not having the night of his life tonight. He's in 19th place, a fair way away from where we want to be, but just loops it on his own accord, lights up the tyres, gives us some smoke signals here, watches the car come around of the 2 leaders, in fact, on the inside there, and then he'll get going once again. But we've got to cross back to the man who has led this race for the better part of the last 6 laps, ladies and gentlemen. Shown the Duff man how to do it. It's 1.6 seconds. The timing tower is crossed over to the checkered flag, which means this is the final 2 corners of the race. And I'm telling you, Dan Smith here, absolutely fantastic job. Takes the win by a 1.8 second advantage over the Beer Man in second place, who put up an absolute gallant effort to fight back at the best of times there. Took the lead, took it back off him, did Dan Smith, and they took it back off each other. But that man there, absolute hats off to you, Duff man. Payrack crosses the line in third place with a valiant effort there in the VB department. He'll be sinking a few of them after the race, I'm sure. Well earned. Jared Eccleston comes across the line in fourth place with those dead as a doornail tyres. Cracking little result from him. Tim Weston in fifth place. Beautiful drive from this man. Just comes out of nowhere. Shows us how to do it at Spa-Francorchamps. Suda, the old tuxedo. Michelle will be cheering him on with a top 6 finish. Loving life there. Will the old tuxedo do as well? Cracking little result for him. JJ Hamilton is around to the final turn now for P7. As he crosses the line and goes for that result. He'll be happy with that too, will JJ, after having a bit of a mare for the first half of this season. Furby comes across the line, P8, swerving and a bit of a celebration. And Agent Smith V2, what could have been for him? He could have been 7th, but he got 9th in the end and crosses the line there inside the top 10 with the championship rival to Dan Smith getting 10th place in the smooth criminal. Luke Fallon just forgot that racing did not go green until about this part of the racetrack at the start of it. Had to serve a drive-through, fought his way back from dead set last and gets 10th place. That is basically, you know what, Dino? I'm going to give that man who just disappeared driver of the day, but as equal on to Dan Smith as driver of the day as well for that one. It could even go 3 ways here. Duff man just showing it's how it's done as well, driver of the day. 3-way tussle because, oh boy, was that on like Donkey Kong there for those two in P1 and P2. And then for the fight back there from Fallon, I've definitely give that one to him as well.
Definitely, mate. Beautiful race. I couldn't think of 3 more deserving drivers in that race. Fallon with his fight back. That was super impressive. Smith with his win. So commanding. Great job there. But Duffy, just to fill those mirrors, just to keep them on their toes, it was just beautiful. Just beautiful. Really enjoyed watching that one.
Yeah, that was bloody sensational stuff. And I hope you viewers at home have absolutely loved that. That was one of the best races of the season I've ever seen in my life. And it's been brought to you live by Sensational TV and Dina Hanley and myself as well. That was fantastic. But the winner, Agent Smith, has come through with the chockies, and he's not come into the Discord chat as well. Dino, if you want to flick across to that right as you speak,
don't have it, mate. Thank you.
You don't? That's all right. No stress. Thought you were in there. I thought you said you did. But anyway, nonetheless, all good in the hood for us. But that was sensational. That was a cracking event. Let's see if we can get the timing tower up for the results. We can. Let's go. That was qualifying. Let's go to the race and see what we've got there at the grand scale of things. That is not correct for whatever reason. I don't know what's going on there, but it was Agent Smith who took the win, unless there has been something nefarious happened there in the back end of it. But Smith got first place, Garth Duffy got second, Payrack third, Eccleston fourth, Weston fifth, Suda in sixth place as well, 7th for Hamilton, 8th for Ferber, 9th for Smith, 10th for Luke Fallon as well. and that was a 90 minutes to remember. I can give you the absolute hot tip, but we've got one man in the chat here. It is Jared Eccleston, who's just popped himself in, mate, and I'll tell you what, that was a ripper. Tell us how you felt there. 4th place, you'll be happy with that.
I actually think I'm 3rd, bro.
You got what happened to Smith though?
He must have got a penalty because he's now P14.
That's what I was thinking, because it looked like it was all good and proper, and he got the win, but he's got 14th on the timing tower as well. So it's not doing funny things. So ultimately a podium position for you, mate. Happy days.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Happy days.
That was a good race from you, mate. You went out there, and I saw that you came in about 5 minutes earlier than the rest of the leading pack in front of you. How'd that tyre deficit go for you?
Nah, it wasn't the right choice. Honestly, I think I would have done better doing an overcut, so going further than the car in front of me, because the tyre warm-up is just too painful.
Oh yeah, it was just incredible. We saw at the front of the field actually between Duffman and Agent Smith. Duffman got the undercut and came out 5 seconds in front, and then by the end of the lap, just on cold tyres, Agent Smith came through, and then said, you know what, I'm going to take the lead back off you again, and that was all it took. And then by the end of the race, it looked like that tyre advantage was 100% in the way of the guys who pitted later. Sorry, so. It's interesting to see, but geez, mate, inherited 3rd place there. That's happy days for you. A cracking drive from you as well, and really, really thoroughly enjoyed seeing you climb back through the field. How'd you rate that one out of 10 on your own performance?
Probably like a 7. There were a few little mistakes that I made, and if I just tidied up the loose ends, I probably could have actually had 2nd, but you know, I've always been very critical of myself, so I think I'll just give myself a pat on the back and take the 3rd place, you know.
Take your 3rd. Well, incredible results there, mate. Well done to you. Nonetheless, 4th place on the timing tower was looking good, but a 3rd place inheritance at the end of the race is a good one, mate. So well done to you. And I'll tell you what, you'll be bumping yourself further up in the championship there. You could be giving Fallon a run for your money after this round too. That should be a good result. You're happy about sitting within that top 5 position of the championship?
Top 5s are always good, man. Fallon did a good job to get back to 9th though after riding the car off.
Yeah, basically.
I have to go back and watch the stream and see what happened. I just saw him go off and big puff of smoke, and I was like, oh yeah, free spot.
Well, the interesting thing is that it didn't register on our end as a collision, so I couldn't get a replay up. Had absolutely nothing on the timing tower, but it looked like he also jumped the start too, because it was green, and he was already past Agent Smith, so I'm not too sure what has gone on, but that's all to talk about later on in the event. 3rd place for you. Duffman has got the win. Holy mackerel indeed. That is incredible stuff. But well done to you, Jared, and a pleasure, mate, to have you in the box. Thank you very much for tuning in and giving us your thoughts after the race, and we'll see you next Tuesday, mate.
Yeah, cheers, Zach. You guys have a good night, eh?
You too, mate. You too. Well done to the big man there, and Dino Hanley. That was an absolute ball terror in the end. Dan Smith has copped a penalty post-race, believe it or not. And that has thrown the old cat amongst the pigeons there. Garth Duffy has inherited the win.
What a win. I didn't even see that black flag. I got BZ in the chat saying that there was one against his name in the timing tower at the end, but I didn't see it. What an amazing result. But Duffy doing great, and then Eccleston, that's Payrack into 2nd, and then Eccleston into 3rd. I mean, what a race. It had everything. But the track just opens you up for everything, doesn't it?
Oh,
Beautiful
it does.
Track.
Yeah, it does. It's an amazing circuit, and you just never know what's going to go on here. GT3s bring the best racing, and then Porsche Carrera Cup 2nd, I reckon, overall in the grand scheme of things in the global. The Formula 1 probably 3rd, but it's never over until that fat lady sings, and the black flag has come out and waved it for Mr. Agent Smith, who finished up 14th in the end. Oh, geez, you just can't take a breath. You're just out of breath by the end of one. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We are done. We are absolutely done, skis. And goodness gracious me, in the fair dinkum department, that was an absolute ball terror fantastic to have you all along with us tonight here at Sensational TV. Dino Hanley, it's been great to have you with me, my old friend, and I'm going to be looking forward to possibly having you around tomorrow as well.
Mate, thank you. And mate, I'll be here with bells on.
Beautiful.
Absolutely great. Thank you very much for having me in the box again. Thanks everyone for listening to me. But I mean, that was a cracking race. It rode itself.
It did, mate. It didn't really ride itself. We had no idea until the end of it. But, geez Louise, in the fair dinkum department, that was a belter. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you to Grey Ward for our super chat. Thank you to our new subscribers coming on board as well. Thanks to Johnny Yannard, well driven and well commentated. He says, Grey Ward, great drive. Guys, he says that was fantastic. Michelle Suter, the old tuxedo, has come through and just cheered on her husband, I would say there, who has got into 5th place after that top 5 result there with Dan Smith's penalty against his name. Thank you for also tuning in. And that's it for us here at Sensational TV. This has been a beautiful production, if you don't mind, and a fantastic event to be a part of here. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our subscribers. Thank you to Grey Ward for the super chat as well here at Sensational TV. But for us, it's goodbye for now. Dino Hanley puts the H in humble and absolutely and Hagrid as well, if you don't mind, the big bearded looking wizard himself in Hagrid. I've been Zach O'Reilly. Guess what? You're not. This has been a Sensational TV production, and until next time, ladies and gentlemen, keep it flat out.
Sensational TV YouTube channel. Don't fucking miss it.